You're listening to Hair of the Dogcast, a proud part of the Greenlit Podcast Network. Check out Hair of the Dogcast and all of Greenlit shows at greenlitpodcasts.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 67 of Hair of the Dogcast, our super fun special quarantine edition. The first ever episode recorded remotely, ever, I think in the history of man. Whoa, yeah. We're pioneers here.
Our conversational flow is going to be even better.
Yes. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Tom, and I'm joined by a usual cast of characters. Let's go with the beard.
Yes, this is Brad, and I'm joined by my Raw Dogs co-host over here.
It's me, Big Tex. My friends call me Big Tex. Dylan, he was from the old world. In the new world, I am Big Tex.
Yeah, that's your apocalypse name.
All right, well, thanks, Big Tex. Mr. Baldy guy there with the, with the sweet earbuds.
I'm Josh, and hopefully you don't have to see Chet tonight.
Well, we'll see how drunk you get.
I want to see what Chet's like on a video feed.
I saw him do a live Instagram video the other night.
And you guys are confused. Chet has a full head of hair, and Josh does not.
Yes.
Clearly, there's a difference.
Chet can afford a barber.
You should be able to use some kind of Snapchat filters. Give yourself some hair or big lips or something. I don't know.
Nice feathered look.
But as a super special part of the podcast tonight, we not only have the full Dogcast crew here together, for the first time in months, years maybe. I don't know. The days feel like years. We have a special guest, Mr. John Riggs. Celebrity. Hey, man.
I don't know about all that.
Welcome to the Dogcast.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know I missed out on the special guest thing at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo last year. Every time I walked by, you were already in the middle of talking. I didn't want to bother you or anything. So I was like, I'll come back another time. And it's all right. We'll do the rain check today then.
That's awesome.
It was intimidating. You're wearing your Robotnik costume, and I have a fear as a Sonic the Hedgehog fan. So,
sure. Fucking crazy.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I felt really bad about that because I think you were one of the first people he reached out to. And then, every time you came around, it was just, oh, my God, I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
Convention.
Yeah. But thankfully this weekend we had Midwest Gaming Classic to do the rain check. And
didn't work that way anyway. So we'll do it today. We'll do it live.
Yeah, you're damn right. So, John, could you give yourself just a little bit of background on who you are and what you do?
Well, my name is John Riggs. That's my driver's license name. And ironically, I also rig video games to my favor, where I can take old video games and hack them. And, I can take Super Mario Brothers, take out Mario, put myself in there, and it's Super Riggs Brothers or something like that. And that's
you narcissistic bastard.
No, I try. I've always wanted to be in a video game, and it's the only way I could do it by putting myself in one.
Right.
No, on top of that, I host a YouTube channel where I'm probably best known for trying to fix broken video games with open cart surgery. I do other stuff on there too. And I'm one of Metal Jesus's friends. So oftentimes I'll be on his channel too, talking about whatever stuff I like to talk about. That's the thing with Metal Jesus is he admits up front that he doesn't know everything there is to know about video games like other channels might. So he has his channel of friends who, there's John Hancock. He's the Sega guy. There's Reggie. He's the PlayStation guy. I'm the NES guy and the VR guy. So, and both Kelsey and I both like imports and Kinsey too. So we all kind of pitch in when we can. Yeah.
Excellent. And I like to say that Metal Jesus is your friend. So
right.
That's
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were friends before I had a channel. I mean, so he wasn't trying to be my friends to get into my channel by any means. So the first few videos I did with Metal Jesus, at the end of the video, he's like, "Hey, where can we find you on social media?" And they usually plug their channel. I didn't have a channel to plug, so I was like, "Oh, I'm standing here. I guess I don't know."
Quick, make one. Yeah.
Yeah. Through that channel, I was able to find a lot of different content creators that I like to follow.
Yeah.
Kinsey and Kelsey and Hancock and Reggie. It's Drunken Master Paul. Y'all have a great family.
Thank you. Yeah, and we all don't live in the same house like some people think we do. Sometimes we'll get the invite for, hey, we want everybody to come down. And I was like, yeah, but, I live, I'm 130 miles away from Seattle. And out of everyone, I think 2 people live in Seattle proper. Others live, elsewhere in the area, or we're all in Washington State at least. But yeah, it's funny hearing other people say like, "Hey,
You froze for a second, but I heard Pink Gorilla, and I love that.
But it's to the point where people will call the Pink Gorilla video game store, and Kelsey will pick up the phone and say, "Hey, can you hand the phone to Metal Jesus?" I was like, "What?" It doesn't work that way.
Have you guys discussed trying to rent a house together and make like a YouTube live? Remember the Real World?
Sure. Big Brother and all that.
Absolutely.
That would be very terrible because we're all very chill. Like we're not all like loud and in your face, and we don't have like these amped up personalities.
Right.
Got to come up with a fake personality.
So
we can't do fake.
if you guys were all quarantined together, who would be the first one to get on everybody's nerves?
Oh God, it might be me because I'm a talker. And it's been the more I drink, the more I talk. So I'll probably be the first one where they all just kind of throw me out all at the same time, maybe. But
Right on.
it's hard to say. We're all friendly enough with each other, and we all just kind of do our own thing. So I think I think it would be okay. It would just make for a very boring TV show to see us all kind of hang out and drink and talk about nothing in particular.
People watch people play video games a lot these days.
That's true. We could do that, I guess.
Well, that's a good answer. And it's also a great segue because Hair of the Dogcast is a podcast about video games and beer and video games, even in quarantine, especially in quarantine.
Yeah, especially.
Nice. We're designed for this situation.
Right. And on the podcast,
for so long.
We drink the real live beer on this podcast. So, gentlemen, have you prepared yourselves some drinks?
Yep.
All right, Josh, what do you got?
We Drafty Cellar boys. Me and Alex went to Lion's Tail up in Neenah, an hour and 20 minutes north. Picked up some of their brews, and they're selling fast with the whole beer to go thing.
Yep.
But yeah, we wanted to bring something unique to our area that's not really distributed to our area, and it's good stuff, and it's going over very well. And this is a pineapple milkshake IPA from them.
Whoa.
So I'm feeling pineapple-y. I'm pretending it's tropical out.
Yeah.
Just went for a run. It's cold as shit outside. It sucks. Now you know.
Yes, those are all true statements. It looks delicious. Brad.
Well, I'm drinking from El Segundo Brewing Company, Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA.
Nice.
I just noticed that Discount Liquor had El Segundo Brewing, and I've been out there before. It's a really cool spot, and I love Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I mentioned that to my girlfriend, and she went out there and bought it for me, which I don't know if I casually hinted strongly, like, that'd be really cool if I had it, which I do sometimes to know what gifts I'm going to get. But, yeah, classic IPA, delicious. It's the bottom line,
Bottom line.
That's a wrestling reference.
Northeast New World Lager, which is pretty good. I did get it. That was a little bit past the sell-by date, which I realized later.
Yeah, it's a
Your
lager.
favorite. Yeah.
But it's actually a little metallic. I'm not
going to
really,
die?
It seems like my luck currently, so it's fine. I'm going to drink it. It's not unmanageable, but I'm also a gutter person who drinks straight from the trash. So
That's a good lager.
Yeah, it's also a good description.
generally speaking, it is. This one's a little off.
Is it a year old?
No, it's
2 years old.
it's just a little past its prime. It's fine.
Right. It's a good beer.
We all.
It's good beer.
It's aged.
Yeah. Mr. Riggs, what
Yes,
are
sir.
you drinking tonight, buddy?
Well, representing the Pacific Northwest, I have my Crowler. I have the 32-ounce can. This comes from Yakima, Washington. It's a place called Wandering Hop. And I'm drinking the Orange Creamsicle IPA, which
Sounds
is
really good.
tons of orange, tons of vanilla, and it's the best way I can describe it is it tastes like an orange creamsicle but feels like an IPA.
All right.
So I
Sign
usually
me
like
up.
I like IPAs. I like the juicy IPAs. I mean, the standard issue, like a American style or a New England style is fine too. But yeah, I'm not really too big on having fruit in my beer to begin with. But since this is like
Right.
synthetic fruit and not like it just tastes like an orange creamsicle, but it's an IPA, so I can dig
Excellent.
it for Wandering
Yeah.
Hop. And it's another one of those supporting the local breweries during this time where all these breweries and maybe you might even have a local pub that can get growlers to go, get your gift cards or whatever, and keep them in business. Because once this is all over with, man, we're gonna repopulate them, and hopefully we'll have something to come back to.
Absolutely. I hope
Josh,
so.
how are you doing over there at the Drafty Cellar, Josh?
We almost actually bought a crawler machine, and then we found out that crawlers everywhere across the country are sold out through next month.
The cans.
So
cans are hard to find.
we crushed. We have might have like 25, probably 32-ounce half growlers, and like maybe 60 full growlers left to fill. So we're trying to find out if we can get some in a couple weeks, maybe. Otherwise, we've been selling a lot of package regardless, but it's gonna suck if we can't keep the taps flowing. So we'll see. We're trying. We're doing well considering. But
at Eagle Park, we did almost 1,200 crawlers in the last week, and our crawler machine just killed itself and said, "I need a fucking break."
I'm sure.
Right. So we're trying to get that going up again before we head back into work. But so
probably a good idea. And I'm drinking a bright white from Bell's. It's a nice little wit beer. Yeah, keeping it nice and light. Because this is going to be a light episode, gentlemen.
I'm pulling out the barrel-aged stouts at the end.
Yes. So before we get into some news, just want to, obviously we're doing this remote. So to all you fancy listeners out there, thank you for listening. Just be aware there might be some technical hiccups and sound quality might not be what you're used to, but we're doing our best. Okay. So
I've heard some of the high production ones this week, because I obviously keep up with a ton of podcasts, and their quality dip was pretty extreme too. There's no way around this. So
I think everyone's in the same boat.
Everyone's in the same boat. I watched Conan O'Brien do a show from home, and I was like, "Ooh,
yeah,
you can tell."
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, let's get into some news, gentlemen, before we get into just a nice casual talk about life in this weird time. So I was going to start the night off doing like a comparison between the specs of the PS5 and the Xbox One, and because now those specs have all been released by Microsoft and Sony, at least from the technical standpoint. But I realized let's not do that, And I was also going to ask you guys, based on the technical specs, which console was obviously going to win the next generation. But obviously the answer is the Intellivision Amico. So
that's right.
So there you go. We're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to skip right to shitting on GameStop, one of our favorite topics. John, are you a fan of GameStop?
We have one in town, and it's on the way, way, way other side of town. I live in Yakima, Washington, which is built in a valley. So it's only so tall, but so many miles wide. So to go to my local GameStop my local GameStop's like half an hour away. So I don't go there very often at all, ever, and I oftentimes rarely need to.
Right.
I like the people who work there. Corporate wide, I think there could be some things done.
Probably. Yeah.
I think I would, if there was no more GameStops, I would wind up missing it.
Yeah.
Because it is, if I need to find a used game, it is an option, because there's like a boutique store that I go to called Makes Sense in town. But if I couldn't find Doom 3 for the Xbox there, I wound up stopping by a GameStop, found it for $5, and they can have some predatory business practices, but it is a video game store that offers used games.
That's right.
And I do appreciate that. I don't need another Game Informer subscription, though.
Are you sure?
I'll get 2 more. You sold me.
And
I was going to say, nicely done, Tom.
Yeah.
I do miss, though, several years ago, they used to give a lot of really cool things with pre-orders.
You're right.
Really suck you in. I still got some of those shirts,
Nice.
Fucking shirts.
I wish I had mine.
Yeah, I think I got a Fallout 3 shirt somewhere around here. But GameStop announced that they're closing 300 more stores this year as part of the company's plan to de-densify, quote unquote, their term. But so on a recent call, CFO Jim Bell said that we anticipate more store closures to be equal or more than the 320 stores that they closed last year. So the slow march to the GameStop gallows continues, the bleeding. But what I wanted to talk about is this just happened right after our last Dogcast. Did you guys hear about all the GameStop trying to label themselves as essential during their coronavirus outbreak?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is just completely fucked up.
Well, I mean, they probably realized that if they couldn't stay open and still try and do what they can, they're going to have to close a bunch of their businesses.
Oh,
I
yeah.
understand the business trying to stay open even when you're not supposed to.
Right.
But it's the coronavirus. Stay the fuck home. Also that.
Yes. So, yeah they were asked by the site Ars Technica, why they thought they were essential. And a GameStop representative said, while GameStop is best known as a provider of gaming and home entertainment systems, we also offer a wide array of products and devices that are important to facilitate remote work, distance learning, and virtual connectivity.
Dragon Ball Z coffee mugs. I know that is important.
Brad, where am I going to get my Deadpool and Harley Quinn statuette?
I bought a lot of coffee mugs there when they were like on sale. Like,
and where am I going to get my 12 copies of Starlink Battle for Atlas for the Switch?
Yes, exactly. This is in California, apparently, and employees were given like a card to hand to local law enforcement officials just in case they tried to shut them down while they were in operation. And basically the card had a number on it that said, here, please call this number to find out, why we are essential, or essentially. So
that's a collector's item now.
Yeah, apparently.
I would actually pay for that. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, totally.
Dear police, stop fucking with us. We're GameStop.
Pretty much. So that didn't last long. GameStop ended up closing to customer traffic, right? So, but some stores, like I think they actually currently remain open for like delivery, curbside pickup, that kind of thing. Fine.
I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind if they would have stayed open. I mean, like we have local pot shops because it's legal in Washington State, and you can't have a bunch of people there. So you have to. I mean, the line goes outside because that's where the line is, and then they let in like one person at a time, or two, like however many employees, two employees. They let in two people at a time to help them specifically, and once they get their stuff, the next person comes in. I wouldn't even mind if GameStop did that, but of all the places with coronavirus and people not washing their hands and touching everything, GameStop would probably be like ground zero for infestation, bacteria going everywhere, or not, it's not bacteria, but the virus going everywhere.
Exactly. And here's where it gets more fucked up. I think Boston Globe actually reported this, and this was like a day or two ago. GameStop corporate sent an email to their employees instructing them to keep safe by using plastic bags to cover their hands when interacting
and their heads.
So,
their heads.
Yeah. So, according to the report, workers have been told to wrap a plastic bag around one hand to protect it from exposure to the virus, open the door a crack, and take the customer's credit card. And and then employees are to run the card with the hand still encased in the bag, flip the bag inside out, leaving the card inside, put the purchase in the bag, and hand it back through the door. So, fuck you, surgical gloves. You're using the...
Can't even afford that at GameStop.
And
there's a plastic bag ban going around in Oregon, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of bullshit, because I tried to trade in my used surgical gloves, and they only gave me like a penny each for them.
Oh, they're usually worth a dime or $7.
Yeah, I mean, I know they have them. It's just they refuse to use them.
Should I even ask what they were used for, Dylan?
Surgery.
That's what he calls it.
Okay. All right.
That's what the kids are calling it.
Yes. When the Boston Globe asked one of the managers what they thought about this practice, speaking on anonymity, the manager said, "I have to make a choice between doing a job that nobody needs during a pandemic and not getting paid, and possibly infecting people or being infected." So basically, I don't know. Fuck GameStop. Apparently, game sales have been on the rise with this whole ordeal.
You think?
Especially at GameStop. So I don't know.
That's fine for like new games, but like when I go to GameStop, I go there for the used games. As I go there because they have like buy 4 get 1, or buy 1 get 1 free, or 4 games for under $20. I want to see what they have. I can't see what they have through the window, and my eyesight sucks anyway. So. I mean, to me, that's the sales point. I mean, I can shop online, but again, shopping online is not the same as actually looking at the back of the box and, making sure it has VR support or whatever the case is,
Yeah, and it's hard to look into the window when you can't look past the NBA 2K11 standee that they still have in the window, So it's kind of tough.
Maybe you're right.
So yeah, any last thoughts on GameStop? Desperation move. What's your over and under? How long are they around after this crisis? Anybody?
It's all going to depend on how long it is.
It changes every episode we do, I think.
It does.
The odds of them folding. So,
Brad, you sympathize with them?
I don't know. I mean, they do shitty things, but there are a lot of hardcore video game fans that work for them because that's their job and that's their career. I don't want bad things to happen to anybody. And just because there's some bad apples at the top, I feel for them. Not the company, but for the people that shop there that like their used games, for the people that work there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not happy about anything happening right now with the coronavirus. Everyone's hurting in different ways.
Yeah.
Maybe Reggie turns the company around, huh?
I'm hoping. And if anyone was going to do it, he'd be the one to do it.
I'm not against GameStop.
Introduce Bigfoot Pizza into GameStop. Then I'm going to go, yes.
the Bigfoot Pizza. Yes. I want
a place to get a good pie.
I want a Bigfoot Pizza Funko Pop.
We're about having viruses and making games.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Here's another story that we've been kind of talking about the last couple episodes. Will they, won't they? Konami has come back and denied that the Silent Hill reboot rumors are moot and not real. According to a statement from Konami obtained by the website Rely on Horror, the recent rumors that a Silent Hill reboot in the works are not true. Rely on Horror was the original source of the report that the two new rebooted Silent Hill games were apparently in the works, one or both of which were rumored to be helmed by Kojima, potentially. Here's a full quote from the Konami spokesperson. We're aware of all the rumors and reports, but can confirm they are not true. I know it's not the answer your fans may want to hear. But go ahead, Dylan.
They better get on it. All their business comes from selling fucking amusement machines like pachinko and slots and stuff, right? Yeah, no one's going to be using those for a while.
That's true.
So better start making a game, actually, for once. Maybe a Castlevania.
Put Suikoden on the Switch.
Contravania.
Contravania. Brilliant.
Josh, did you just create something there?
I think so.
Dude.
Beer helps the brain.
We're going to Shark Tank that shit. Yeah, that's awesome. But the spokesperson did go on and say, quote, "It's not to say we are completely closing the door on the franchise, just not in the way it is being reported." So that was kind of cryptic.
Right.
I'm not sure what they were trying to accomplish by just muddying the waters there, but it's fucking Konami, so who would expect them to make a game these days anyways, really?
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Now I'm sad. That GameStop did make me sad. Konami not making games anymore makes me sad.
They haven't for a while.
I don't know. Maybe they'll pull a Capcom or something. And
they have to have seen the success with the Resident Evil reboots to say, like, well, we can do that.
Right.
I mean, because like Resident Evil 2, huge. Resident Evil 3, I mean, the beta's out there. It's like, or the demo and all that. And people are paying good money for them. So it's like, and I personally like Silent Hill more than Resident Evil. So I would love to see the first three, even if it's like the first three rebooted or just ported over to current gen, and knowing that they'll never make another one. Kojima, I don't think he's ever coming back. Like, if Kojima wants to make another horror suspense game,
ever?
Silent Hill, but I mean, he doesn't need to be part of Konami to do that. I mean, he could do his own thing, and it can be Silent Hill inspired, but it doesn't have to be Silent Hill at this point. I mean, I know as the Silent Hill games went on, they kind of became their own entity. It's like Final Fantasy. Every Final Fantasy is different anyway. So
Quiet Mountain. He'll make Quiet Mountain.
Don't get these guys started on Final Fantasy.
That's actually not a bad title.
Yeah.
John, do you have a favorite Silent Hill?
I mean, I have most of my nostalgia comes from the first one, just the first time I played it, where I was like, "Wow, this is pretty cool."
Look at the fog! Fuck yeah!
It was a whole lot of fog. But I think that the third one is my favorite for sure.
The third? Wow.
I like the third one a lot too. That might be my favorite.
Room? Is that the room?
No, it's with the girl.
That's the girl with the creepy amusement park.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
That one.
I'm thinking of 4.
The room is 4, I think. Yeah. And that was not bad. I mean, that was cool because it was like you're stuck in a room. I mean, that's the creepiest thing ever, you know. And it's funny because now we're living it. So
it's terrifying. I've been with Dylan all day.
We talked about a lot of stuff.
Better together. Oh, you too. Yeah. So I don't know what to make of that. I think something's coming. I think something's brewing, and I don't think it's going to be like a branded bottle of water or something. But I don't know. And I would like to see Kojima's his vision finally. It's probably going to be just the most obtuse crap, but I would.
Well, he already said he was in pre-production for a scary game. That's his goal. It's not going to be Death Stranding 2.
I hear Red Bull might be involved.
Making a Goosebumps game.
That's a Red Bull. Yeah,
he does like a licensed Goosebumps game for the first movie that came out a little while ago.
That would be the most fucked up Goosebumps thing ever.
Yeah.
It's not like a dummy.
Go there with it. Just go there.
Dark shit.
Yes. Shall we move on? Great.
Yes.
It's all leading up to Pyramid Head being in Smash.
Ooh, how have I not thought about that before?
That's pretty good.
I would play Smash Brothers then. That would, that would give it a different vibe for sure. Holy shit!
Just a lot.
Okay, moving on from Detective Pikachu to Dirk the Daring. Live-action Dragon's Lair movie is incoming to Netflix with Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds set to star as Dirk the Daring, and Don Bluth is listed as one of the producers.
That's awesome.
We got some youngins on this podcast. You guys have any reverence for Dragon's Lair?
I definitely know Ryan Reynolds. Yes, he was hilarious in that one college movie.
Van Wilder.
Van Wilder.
Yes. So I have a lot of faith. No, that'll be fun. I think that's good casting for like a silly property like that.
Yeah.
It was originally supposed to be animated, but apparently they looked at the cost of animation.
Will I have to hit certain buttons on the DVD remote as I'm watching it?
Huh?
Yeah.
Do like
The movie's actually only 12 minutes of footage, just looping constantly.
Right, yeah.
There's not much more to report than that, other than I think Dan and Kevin Hageman, they worked on the Lego movie, and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark are kind of slated to write the movie. But it's kind of weird. Ryan Reynolds has kind of dipped his toe a lot into the whole video game oeuvre lately.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a market for it.
Yeah. Detective Pikachu. I think he's got a movie coming up called Free Guy.
Oh, yeah.
Free guy,
Like
one guy,
extra guy.
player up, extra guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready Player Ryan.
Ready
Free
Player.
Man.
Yes, Ready Player Ryan.
Ryan Player One. Very good.
Yeah. John, do you remember playing Dragon's Lair? You played it in the arcade?
I did, yeah. No, I'm from the day when Dragon's Lair was the first arcade machine that I saw. That was 50 cents.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, it better be awesome for 50 cents. Oh my God. And I died almost immediately because I didn't realize you have to wait for the cues. And then once I figured out how to play it, it was cool, but it was still 50 cents. So it was hard for me to play. Fortunately, they had the dual monitor, so I would like side eye, like I'd be playing something over here and side eye wait for someone to walk up there so I could watch them play with the overhead monitor just to see it. And it was because it was animated and because it was animated by Don Bluth. And I loved Don Bluth because, I mean, that's Secret of Nim. You're talking about more obscure Benj of the Woodpile Cat, but even like, the Fievel Goes West and all that.
Double in the Penguin.
Fievel Goes West.
Yeah, I mean, Don Bluth was
Anastasia.
Anastasia's fantastic. I mean, it doesn't have to be Disney to be really, really good.
Right.
And I was such a big fan of Secret of Nim growing up, so I was all about it. It was like watching a Saturday morning cartoon, but it cost me 50 cents. Oh.
Yeah. As being a kid also during that time, I mean, just having your mind blown, and same as you, put in the 50 cents and die immediately and not understand what the hell was going on,
Yeah. It took watching someone else to play it where I was like, oh, that's what they're doing. They're waiting for that little the sound. I don't remember if it had the yellow flash. I think it was just the sound. You just had to wait for the cue to do it. But once I figured that out, it didn't make it any easier. I didn't get too much farther, but it was still fun. I mean, I still have a lot of fun memories about it. And I'm looking forward, if this movie comes to fruition, whether it be animated or live action with Ryan Reynolds, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, it's supposed to be live action, so I was kind of wondering that too. I'm like, would it be better to have Don Bluth come back and just do an animated version of it?
Do an animated title sequence. Do the title sequence animated, and then the rest can be live action.
Dragon's Lair.
So Dirk this year. So here's the pitch. Dirk goes up in the real world, and there's a scene where he transforms from the animated version into himself, and it's going to be family friendly, and it's going to be extremely annoying.
He's the optimist of the podcast.
Yeah. Your 2-year-old beer glass is half full, apparently. Good job. Yeah, we can count on you.
Yes, thank you. I've seen enough movies.
All right. So Yeah, let's move on here. Just a couple more things I wanted to touch on. These are all kind of COVID related here. I did see that Google Stadia might actually be finding itself a niche, or at least finding itself useful as a tool for game development during these times. Apparently, Bungie has been able to use Stadia to do playtesting for Destiny 2 as they're building things for that game. And everyone in their company, like us, everybody else, is working remotely. So they've kind of found a way to quickly get their build up and running and then distribute it. People can play it and check bugs and shit. I thought that was kind of interesting.
So the only one not hurting during the coronavirus is Google Stadia.
It's a sad reality.
Well, it couldn't have got worse for them, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool, and I think after this is all said and done, a lot of these repurposed programs will find themselves given a new leash on life or something. Next, Sony and Microsoft currently claim at least that COVID currently has no impact on the PS5 or Xbox Series X launches this year.
That's good.
Sony had said that it doesn't see any notable impact. Yeah, right. So Sony said, they don't have any noticeable impact or notable impact yet of the launch. I think the key word is yet of the PS5. And Microsoft, the CEO, Satya Nadella, told at CNBC that he didn't see the supply chain being a factor for the delay because the Asian markets are starting to spool up a little bit now. They've kind of gone through their curve and things are kind of coming alive over there. But he did warn that a potential problem could be is what happens in the United States and in Europe, in other developed markets around the demand side. The actual demand for the console could be a factor if it gets delayed or not. So I'm not sure what you guys think about that. I kind of believe that,
it's not coming out this holiday.
I'd assume not. Everything's getting delayed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think they're just saying that to not upset people.
Yeah, I think it is really at this point, I think in the back of their head they're being very wishful, but I think Josh is right. I think it's literally just they're avoiding outrage for a little bit.
Yeah.
There's still so many games out there. I don't need it right now. I don't need a PlayStation 5.
No.
There's so much out there. And it's really good stuff.
We have Cyberpunk. We're good.
Yeah, right. No kidding.
Exactly.
So excited for that. But I agree with that. Even if they got manufacturing out and they could make as many consoles as possible, first of all, who the hell right now is thinking about a console? I know a lot can change day to day, but even when we start to come out of this coma, the quarantine coma, just the economy, I don't know if people are going to be ready to really spend money. And the other side of the coin too is a lot of these the launches are going to be dependent on the games, and I think we're bracing ourselves for a huge just amount of games about to be delayed, due to the whole thing. So I don't know.
Well, I think next year we're going to experience probably the biggest video game drought that we've ever seen. It's probably going to be stagnant.
I think fall. I think you got your Final Fantasy VII remake. You got your Resident Evil 3. I think those are the last probably big budget titles that maybe hit their date.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, they have said that. Yeah, CD Projekt has said they're working hard from home on it. So we'll see. I hope so.
It's been delayed before.
Yeah. But I don't know. John, are you into any of the new consoles? Are you going to be a day one purchase?
No, I'm day one purchase PlayStation 5 for sure. I'm a huge PlayStation fan, especially because of the VR capabilities. I don't expect there to be a PSVR 2 from launch. I'm not expecting that at all.
No.
But if it's and they say it's backwards compatible with some of the library, which I don't care because I already have a PlayStation 4. I'm good. But I wouldn't be surprised if PlayStation 5, a lot like with PlayStation 4, and we have to be honest about it. PlayStation 5's first games might be Last of Us Part 2 remade. Now for PlayStation 5.
Right.
Just like they did with Skyrim, and I think we're going to see a lot of, we'll probably see Shadow of the Colossus again. For the fifth time on PlayStation 5.
That's
my favorite game ever.
Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus.
Here it is again.
Yeah.
You guys are missing one. Knack 3.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. See?
You got to get Martin Cernia's game. Yeah, man.
It's going to be hard to say. I do like the PlayStation products. I like Xbox as well, but every time I've had an Xbox, it just kind of sits there too. I mean, to me, it's all about I don't like they did that the big demonstration with the the specs and the statistics, and none of that means anything to me. Being a tech guy, then it means I just want the games. Once upon a time I was a Nintendo brand ambassador where I worked with Nintendo to review Nintendo products and through NDA and all that. And I have friends who still are. I'm not anymore. This is once upon a time, but I have friends who still are. And after that demonstration, they were like, oh, the PlayStation, and because they're hyper Nintendo, they're like, oh, the PlayStation 4, I was going to say during the press conference, my fellow Nintendo and brand ambassador friends were like kind of putting down the PlayStation 5 as they should, because they're Nintendo fans. Because like, oh, it's the same specs that computers have had for years. But I'm like, but the Switch is not even optimal compared to these other newer systems, but it's all about the games at the end of the day, which is why, I got to have all the consoles because I'm always out for those exclusives, So, I mean, it's going to come down to, I don't care about the specs or the stats, statistics. I just want to know what games are coming out for it,
Although I will pick a bone with you, John, because I just watched your YouTube channel again a couple nights ago, and it looks like you just picked up a 3DO like 28 years later. That wasn't a day one purchase for you?
I did not pick up a 3DO back in the day. It was too expensive for me. There was one time that I went to, it was Software Etc. at the time. It became GameStop later. And I had enough money to, it was day one for PlayStation 1. And I was interested in it. And they were offering send us, trade in your old Super Nintendo and literally any 3 games, and you'll get $100 off. It was $300 at launch. I had $200, and I went in there, and I was like, yeah, should I get the PlayStation 1 that I know nothing about? I mean, it was new to me. I was like, I don't know anything about this. I saw a couple ads in magazines, but I don't know. Or the 3DO plus 5 games is also $200. So I actually sat there for about 2 seconds thinking, I could just get this. I'm actually going to invest in the PlayStation 1. I made the better decision. It was at a recent convention, though. Somebody walked in. Did you? And the problem was that was all the money I had. So so for the first full month, I could only play the demo disc that it came with, which was Jumping Flash. It was the ESPN Downhill Challenge or whatever, and I think a level of Wipeout and Battle Arena Toshinden, but only one player because I only had one controller. So I was like, I played that to nauseam for the first month. When I first got a PlayStation 1. I still have that demo disc, too. I still have my PlayStation 1 also.
I was the same way, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Toshinden was a jam. I love Toshinden.
But the 3DO I picked up recently with a trade. Somebody went I was at a Portland game swap with it. They had, I have a 3DO for trade, and I'm looking to find a Nintendo 64. I was like, well, I have an extra 64 for sale. I'll just trade you straight across, and we worked it out. So I got 3DO now. Yay.
Hey.
Nice.
Congrats.
That's a sweet deal for you.
I do that, yeah.
Hey, man, you got the Wing Commander 3, and that's all you need. It's so good.
That's true. I got Wing Commander 3. Okay. Love it.
So what would be we'll move on after this, but John, what would be your dream PS5 launch game that hasn't been announced yet?
Oh, man. Put me on the spot here. About 19 games all popped in my head all at the same time. Ironically, it would be a remake. But even if they just redid Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 4, 3, no 4. If they just did because I loved it for PlayStation 3, and I would definitely play through it again. I don't know, but as far as like current IP, or just like so many people go for the sequels, but like a Sony exclusive, man.
Something for VR?
I mean, if they came out with a
God of War 17,
if it launched with the PSVR 2.0 or whatever they're going to call it, I'd be down for that for sure. Like they made Astro Boy 2 or something like that, for sure. But I mean,
that'd be cool.
I don't know. Even when the PlayStation 3 came out, as the big launch game was Resistance: Fall of Man. It was a game I've never even heard of before, but I grabbed it and it was cool, for its time. I was able to play it online for free.
That was a good game.
Yeah, so I'm just like with that, and just like with Oblivion, which I also knew nothing about because I've never played the previous Elder Scroll games. I played a little bit of Morrowind for Xbox, but not a lot. So I was just pleasantly surprised when it came out. So I'm down for I'm down for whatever they have.
Yeah,
I'm sure maybe Jumping Flash 3. I don't know.
Actually, if they did it right, it'd probably be all right.
The gritty reboot. Yeah.
No, okay, I take it all back. If they do a new version of Twisted Metal, I'd be all about it.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, they tried. They did try again in the
No, they did.
previous
They
console.
tried.
PS3.
Yeah, not the same.
No, definitely not.
Figure it out. Figure it out.
Yeah,
I'm all on that.
You know, to put it online and to have it be like, you know, a new Twisted Metal, but have it be like, you know, 100 players online, battle royale style, all the different cars and all that. I think it'd be all right.
Yeah,
My pitch,
that's the way to do it. Oh, Battle Royale, Twisted Metal, sign me up.
my pitch is kind of like an open world one where you build your own car, and it's kind of like Forza Horizon in that way. That would actually be a really stellar way to
Mount
go
your
about
own
that.
guns where you want, buy upgrades and stuff.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Get people involved. They can make their own character.
We have the technology. We can even link it up with Google Maps and have it be like an actual.
That would be sick. Yes, I would play that day one. Yeah.
Oh, that's all I play. That's the only game I'd ever need.
Fuck it,
Yeah.
man. We should be game developers. I don't know what we're doing this podcasting crap for. Jeez.
No,
Because
Listen,
we're
guys, I'll
lazy.
get on it. I'll get on it today.
because we're not game developers. There's a lot more to it than that. We can bullshit all we want, but you know, come on.
Right. Yeah. All right. And then last thing here, another COVID thing. Both Sony and Microsoft have been adjusting the PS and Xbox network features during the outbreak to help alleviate a network load. If you've been playing console games and downloading files, you have experienced this because holy cow, I have.
Oh, yeah.
It took me like 8 hours to download Call of Duty the other day.
Warzone. Yeah, that's right. You started the original one or the new one.
Yeah.
Original
I-
content.
I hope Final Fantasy VII Remake doesn't have a day one patch that's going to require a lot of downloads because everybody is going to put that game in that console at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be rough.
Not if you ordered the physical. That one's not coming. So
Well, I don't know. Apparently, Australia and Europe are possibly getting it early, and as Square Enix has said, just don't spoil it, folks.
Well, they're better than us, so be it.
yeah, I think Amazon.
Europe, maybe. Australia, I don't know.
What if Amazon strikes though? There's rumors of.
Then I'm going to take a job at Amazon for one day to get my copy of Final Fantasy VII Remake to my house.
Bezos. Fuck yeah! All right. Well, hey guys, that has been the news. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and take a short break and listen to these fun shows on the Greenlit Podcast Network. We will be right back with our topic of the show.
How does Bloodborne stack up against, say, Oregon Trail? And is Bomberman just Loadrunner from a different point of view? Find out on Hardcore Gaming 101's Top Games, where we objectively, definitively, and scientifically rank the games you nominate for our ever-growing list. HG 101's Top Games, twice a week, every week, right here on Greenlit.
Hey Chris, what's the War Rocket Ajax podcast about?
Well, Matt, if we were smart, it'd be about murders, but it's actually about comics.
War Rocket Ajax. It's not about murders, but it is weekly on the Greenlit Podcast Network.
And we're back.
I'm Tom.
And I'm the fart.
And Dylan, you're drinking a Fresh Coast Pale Ale from Three Sheeps.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's actually, I'm deeply impressed. I've never had this one before.
And-
I expected it to be too juicy. Some juicy pale ales are a little too much for me, but I got it on a whim. The rep was actually at the corner store gas station. And I talked to him for a minute.
Did he
and I
have
was
a
like,
beard? Did he have a
"Oh,
beard?
this one looks pretty good." And he's like, "Yeah, it's really good." I'm like, yeah, I'll believe you this time. And
Did
then
he have a beard?
Yeah, he did actually.
It's Andy.
Funny that.
Really?
Andy.
Okay.
I know
Oh,
him.
you know,
Weird, you say.
Fucking Andy.
small world.
Fucking Andy.
You know all the cool
Funny
people.
thing is, Brad's drinking an overfruited slush from Eagle Park. I see.
I'd probably like it.
Oh, it's so good. Fruit punch style sour made with pineapple, guava, passion fruit, strawberry, blackberry, and tangerine. From Eagle Park Brewing, my favorite brewery in Milwaukee. Not only because they're the best brewery, but because I work there.
They suck.
My favorite brewery in Wisconsin. Yes, they're amazing. And
Yep, you'll get some of this when we do see you next time, John.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fruit and beer. I was just talking about how I don't like that much fruit and beer right here.
We'll get you one of their stouts. We'll get you something
No,
else.
if you
The entire
they got
I'll
things.
try everything. I'll try everything. That's all good. I'll
They
grab
do
a
the-
flight.
They're the best New Englands in Wisconsin.
right.
IPAs in general.
Yep.
But
Let's do it.
In New England, do they have New England IPAs or are they just
Hey, look
IPAs?
at that. That's cool. You got the between you, me, and the wall. What is that one.
Between you and me.
This is Three Sheeps. I believe it's their first milkshake IPA with Vic's secret hops. Not fruited, but they add a little lactose and vanilla to the Vic's secret hops, and it's actually killer. It's almost gone. I don't know
now,
why.
What makes it a milkshake IPA? I'm not familiar with the term milkshake.
Mainly the fact they use vanilla and lactose. It gives it that creaminess. Lactose, the milk sugar, gives it that creamy body. I like my stouts thick. I like all my beers thick for the most part. Even like when it comes to like a lighter beer, like an amber, the English style amber is like an ESB, has a nicer body to it. I prefer those over an American amber. But it gives it a thick, creamy body and a little sweetness as well.
Cool. I like big bodies. I hear you. Cool.
I like big.
That's why you like me so much.
Thick body, blah, blah, blah.
I see you, Dylan.
Yeah.
Put some milk in there, blah, blah, blah.
I know.
I don't like milk. I don't like IPAs really too much, but I love milkshake IPAs, and But
check them out.
Yeah, if you get a hold of some, definitely do that. Let us know what you think. If you hate them, I do not recommend it. So
fair enough.
we are officially back now, and we have a brand new segment that we'd love to debut on the show tonight from our boy Dylan.
It's called Ninfriendo. And it's me giving you the updates on Nintendo because I am the resident Nintendo stan. I am
Ninfriendo.
Oh, man.
Nintendo's going to exist already.
I don't care. I'm going to use it. I mean, you guys had me doing the Dylan experience for a while.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
That was Brad. You know, he put that together for you.
It was polarizing, but it was good.
He put a lot into it.
I still like Chet Chat.
Chet.
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
What can't it be Nindilino?
What's that?
Nindilino. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Completely.
That's why we pay
don't use
the big
that.
bucks.
I mean, I've got another segment where I review indie games, but I'm going to save the indie game I bought because I only played like 20 minutes of it.
Right.
So it's not really I can't review it quite yet.
So, Ninfriendo.
Yeah. Ninfriendo. So, Nintendo dropped a surprise direct. About a few weeks back, they dropped an indie direct, and it was obnoxious as hell. The announcers for it were way too canned, is how I'm going to put it. They sounded really fake and pretty annoying. And the fake commentary was just a little too much for me. Like, the cool thing though is that you saw a bunch of stuff from like Hello Games. They made a smaller title that's not overly ambitious. It's called The Last Campfire, and that looks pretty good. There were a few other things I saw in there that were pretty interesting, including Exit the Dungeon or the Gungeon, which I wanted to try, but money's tight, so I'm not going to buy something like that. But this time they actually dropped like a legit Nintendo Direct, and they had some really surprising things in there. I don't know if any of you guys saw it. Did any of you guys see it?
I did not. Oh,
I did.
You did? What did you think?
Well, I saw it because I knew someone who said there's going to be a Nintendo Direct, there's going to be a Nintendo Direct, there's going to be one. And I said, no, they're not, because they haven't announced anything. He said, I promise. He's like, my friend said, they're definitely stealth dropping a game this day. They can't not hype it up with a Direct. And I was like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And sure shit, it happened. The game he was talking about was Panzer Dragoon, the remake. For Switch.
Remake, which is getting very middling reviews.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's
Panzer Dragoon.
It's getting meddling reviews because the people who are reviewing it bad have never played it before. They've heard the hype, but they're playing it for the first time and they're like, I don't get it. It's an Unreal shooter. Why can't they just do like Star Fox or whatever? But the people who grew up with the Saturn, like I did, I loved my Sega Saturn. They're all about it. Now, I admittedly haven't picked it up yet, to be honest with you. I know that limited run games are doing they're doing the physical copy. I don't mind digital, but if there's a physical available, I might grab the physical.
Right.
I just haven't picked it up yet, but I did grab that Exit the Gungeon that they announced at the end of this deal. It's great.
What did you think of that?
It's this. You know what's funny? I never played the first one. I never played Enter the Gungeon.
I was going to ask. Yeah. Okay.
So we have to pool our resources together to find out how similar they are, I suppose. I
think that's going to be our goal.
Yeah, but I haven't played it much. I mean, because I played it, I only played it a little bit because right afterwards, that's when Animal Crossing came out, and then all my focus has been on Animal Crossing the last few days.
Yeah.
So I'll come back to it later, and then maybe another podcast another time. We'll compare notes. But other than that, I mean, some of the other games looked okay. Like I'm a huge supporter of indie games. I love indie games. I have far more indie titles. I have far more indie digital titles than I do physical copies of games anymore.
Same here.
But it's
easy to download, and they're so bite-sized. The game I wanted to review was Donut Country or Donut County.
I want to play that.
Yeah.
It was $6 on the Switch, and I said, "Duh,
100% worth it.
Obvious choice."
It's kind of a quick playthrough, but it's so fun.
Yeah, it's quick. It's quick. I can already tell. There's a progression bar, and I feel like at the end of it, it's done. So it's a fun artsy game, though. I enjoy the concept of it. It's almost got to feel like a Katamari in the way that it just generally functions.
Right.
There's no real fail state though, so I mean, it's just kind of it's an art game. It's one of those.
Well, and I like it because kids can play it because you don't die. So there's not the feeling of failure by like and then they get frustrated. But it's like no, you just keep playing it. It's no big deal.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Exactly. So I've got a list of these games here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go through them. The first one revealed was Xenoblade Chronicles. They showed a lot more.
Yes.
It's what this is a remaster, right? But it feels like a remake to me.
I'm 100% with you. I think it is remaster. To me, it looks basically the same, but I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Because
the art style is on point. It's crisp. Mm-hmm. It looks like they improved the animations. Especially like character fidelity. I mean, the first one was for the Wii, and then its port was for the 3DS. And I played it all the way through on the 3DS, and it still looked good. But this is the version I always wanted. This is the version where it's all like upscaled properly. It's in proper HD, and it's given actually like a decent art style, and it looks more like the illustrations that they used from that concept artist. Can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I'm very excited for it. I will play through this game again, and it's got a new epilogue, which is crazy.
Awesome.
So now I have to play.
Yeah,
fantastic soundtrack. That's my favorite part about it.
Yeah, I love that game so much. And the whole time I played it on the Wii, I'm like, why can't this be on like the 360 or like the PS3? I'm like, the graphics could be better, but one of my favorite RPGs of the last generation, maybe ever, loved it. So good.
Nice.
It's wonderful. It's why you play Shulk in Smash.
That's why I love Shulk. That's right. Monado boy.
2K, they're porting a lot of their games.
Oh, a ton.
We've got a BioShock collection, which has come to everything else, but cool on the Switch. It sees a new audience. Yep. XCOM, which I'll probably buy for the Switch because I really enjoyed XCOM 2.
Oh, if there's a BioShock like Mario Brothers skin for the Big Daddies or something, that'd be great.
It's just Mr. Thriller.
If they said "wah" or something every time they were attacking you.
Here we go.
And then a Borderlands collection. That's not the Handsome collection. It's just a Borderlands collection. So I think we're going to get 1, 2, the pre-sequel, and I'm going to imagine 3's not far behind in terms of ports.
Any of you guys played Borderlands 3?
No, I don't have any interest. I played through the entire. Yeah. It's got meme humor. I'm just, it's cringy, and especially I don't think it would hold up well. Even
writing, the writing's not great, but
voice acting's fine. People are funny enough. Then an Ultimate Alliance 3, the Fantastic Four are going to show up. I don't know what that means to anyone. I love the Fantastic Four. It's fine. Then there's this game called Shinsekai. It kind of looks like kind of a puzzle platformer, 2.5D. Okay. Looked okay. I don't know anything about it. It's out now. They announced that.
Oh, yeah.
I might play it. I'm just going to read some reviews, kind of, read the room on that one. Animal Crossing, they're advertising their Easter event with the scary bunny with the eyes that pierce right through you.
All right.
Even Brad commented on it. I kept telling him that he should get the game because I think Carly would like it.
Yeah. It looks. I haven't played an Animal Crossing game before, but I almost bought it the other day.
You should.
All right.
I love Animal Crossing, but that bunny looks super, super creepy.
Well, he was in the last one.
She's playing it right now.
Get off your Switch, Laura.
So that's nice, I guess. I'm gonna get really tired of digging up fucking eggs and catching eggs. with my fishing rod, but whatever, it's fine. There's a game called Good Job, which kind of looks like a bit of a blast. It kind of reminds me of Human Fall Flat and a few other style games in the vein of kind of fun physics puzzles and kind of destructible environments.
You were in a nail salon in that one, right? A nail salon?
Which one?
That's a different good. A nail salon?
Oh, you're like in an office or a warehouse?
Oh, no. Oh, that's a different Good Job. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, this one's actually like it kind of looks. You're kind of like it's an artsy, like that kind of cell shaded style, and it's an isometric view from 3/4 angle, and it just looks like you're supposed to achieve a task, but there are multiple ways to do it, and it's all physics based. So that looks fun. Let's see. I'm going to go down the list a little bit quicker here.
Jesus, hurry up.
Catherine Full Body. I've played the Catherine games. They're kind of gross.
I played that one on the PlayStation 4.
I want to play Catherine.
It's funny because all the photos and the publicity art, it's all about the ladies that are in it and how they're posing. But the game itself is like this weird. It's a weird puzzle game. It's like it's block pushing.
Yeah, that part I like. It's everything else. It's pretending to like these characters that I'm just like.
It's not needed.
This fucking sucks. Everyone's a dirtbag, and I just can't handle it.
I got my Catherine waifu pillow, so I'm okay.
Oh yeah. Which Catherine? Catherine with a K or Catherine with a C?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah. Oh,
it's K. It's K. He doesn't want to admit it. It's K.
Isn't the art done by the Persona guy, or the whole game's done by the Persona team, right?
Yeah, it is. The art team. Yeah.
In-house Atlas kind of look.
Very Atlas.
Let's see. Ring Fit is going to get a rhythm game.
That's cool. I'm looking. I don't have Ring Fit yet, but I love rhythm games.
You're not going to be able to find it for a long time, bud.
Not this time around. Not with the.
You can borrow mine, John.
I own it.
Okay.
How much do you want to pay Tom? Payment kisses. Jogging? Oh, they introduced jogging in it as well. They're introducing more tracks where you can just jog. It's not so much about fighting monsters. It gives you more to do in like the jogging segments.
That's cool.
So they're going to have like extended – because that's really what I wanted at a certain point.
Here, yeah.
It's because a lot of the platforming feels like a lot of fun, especially the things that you can do. So extending those segments, that's fucking awesome. And it's going to be a free update. King's Bounty 2. I don't know anything about King's Bounty. Any of you guys?
Sounds familiar. I'd have to look it up.
And it's going to be the sequel of that. Then we've got ARMS characters in Smash. They didn't tell us which one, but I'm going to imagine it's fine. Then we've got Bravely Default 2. I liked the first one. It's fantastic. They already made a sequel. It's called Second Layer. So calling this Bravely Default 2 is kind of weird. It's kind of a misnomer. It's the third installment. 51 Clubhouse Games, which Brad and I watched it and we were like, "Oh, backgammon? Are you fucking kidding me?"
No, they just kept going.
Then they kept going.
We thought they were making up games all of a sudden.
I have something very similar for the Nintendo DS, which is just a big old catalog full of chess, checkers, backgammon, like 1,000 different ways to use playing cards, and it's oddly like a good also game to have for. I mean, back before I had a Switch, I'd use it for flights and stuff like that because there's always something going on with it. So I don't know if I want it for the Switch though. I mean, I'll grab it.
Well, no, I imagine it'll be really good at like parties if you just leave it out. Like you give like two people Joy-Cons if they're just hanging out, and you're just you can play anything.
Yeah, on your rooftop party.
I'm surprised that like Betrayal on like the Hill House or whatever, like board games. Why don't they take really popular board games and just make Switch versions of them?
Well, they did Ticket to Ride.
Well, they've done a few, but they should be taking all of the major ones and putting them into like video game ports because a lot of people don't play board games, but they would play Switch ports of board games.
Yeah. I played Pandemic for the first time.
We have it's like Monopoly and Battleship, and I have Catan. Like I have Catan for the Switch. But yeah,
you have the Monopoly one for Switch.
Yeah, it's like
that game is way better than it has any right to be.
Hasbro.
Yeah, it's like the Hasbro collection, like Hasbro Family Night or something like that. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, you don't have the Ubisoft made one?
It may be. I don't know.
Because they were trying to sell that for $40 on the Switch. It's down to $10 on sale now, and I almost bought it. I
got it. It's actually worth it.
I don't care who you are. You can't sell Monopoly for $40 as a video game.
That's $10
murder.
$10. You just watch Bill and Bradley do that shit because they will.
Game Glumps.
Grape gums.
There's a great Game Grumps playthrough of it, and like it's a high quality version of it. But $40 is absolutely just bonkers. They couldn't have paid that much for the license to make the game in the first place. So it's not
even $40 to buy the license.
No, exactly.
I'll go buy it now.
They're raking us over the coals here. Then we've got Ninjala, which looks like Splatoon, but you're ninjas who chew bubble gum. It's free to play. And I say that with quotation marks, heavy, extreme quotation marks. Yeah. Whenever someone says free to play.
It's free to start.
Free to start. That is the best way to say
free to never play again.
Episode 1 Racer is going to get a port, which hell yes, dude. I got so good at
the best part of the prequel trilogy, the Nintendo 64 game.
I just want to be Ben Quadraneros, dude.
Oh, yeah, you would be Ben.
I am Ben Quadraneros. Ben Quadraneros is the guy with the four engines that breaks down in the beginning.
Oh, no, Quadraneros.
Yeah, I liked playing as him. And also Jedi Academy. Yeah. Jedi Knight Academy.
That was a big one, too.
Which takes place after Return of the Jedi in the canon.
Yeah.
But not
doesn't mean it is going to be canon.
Not anymore, no.
Yeah.
Like I said, Panzer Dragoon remake, it dropped.
Elder Scrolls Blades.
Which looks like it just should have stayed on the fucking mobile phone. I typed in Warhammer blah blah because there are so many Warhammer.
There's 40,000 of them.
I can't keep up. And I literally tried to look up what it was, and I said, I'm not doing that. Yeah. Saints Row 4, Burnout Paradise Remastered. I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Burnout Paradise.
Hey, you! I could be a girlfriend.
Oof.
Oh yeah. Minecraft Dungeons, which looks like a Minecraft Diablo thing. Fuck Minecraft. I think it's fine.
Fuck Minecraft. I think it's fine.
Pokemon Isle of Armor. They said a lot of stuff about that. I'm not getting into it. This is not the cast for that.
Ooh. No, we don't have 10 hours to talk right now.
Well, we could. So basically, you get a free Pokemon. You can decide how it evolves.
It could be Charizard.
No, it can't be Charizard.
I thought I saw Charizard in the trailer.
Yes, you have a chance to get a Dynamax Charizard.
Dynamax Charizard, I don't know. That's all I care about.
Gigantamax, sorry. There's Dynamax and then there's Gigantamax. If you guys weren't paying attention the last time we talked about it.
Trust me, I wasn't.
My eyes rolled so far the back of my head, they're back looking forward to Pokemon.
Who's Pokemon?
Tail of this podcast.
So, was that it?
I mean, pretty much. Those are the only things I found notable. There were a few other side stuff, but none of it seemed relevant.
But it ended with Exit the Gungeon, right? That was like the last one they showed, was Exit?
No, that was the indie one. So that was the one from 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that was the other one. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
The things they dropped today were that weird 2.5D platformer, Shinsekai, and dropped the Panzer Dragoon remake.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have?
And that's my favorite part about any Nintendo Switch, anyway. Like, or any Direct, is anytime they say and it releases and it launches right after this. I was like, I gotta get it right now. So
it's really good advertisement. It really is, and it never gets. To me, it never gets old because it kind of feels like you won the lottery when they do.
Yeah.
And people, they always talk about like, I hate watching commercials, but you're looking out for a Nintendo Direct, which is a 30-minute commercial about all these games you're going to spend money on.
Yeah.
I mean, Brad and I were watching it. It kind of makes me feel like you're let loose in Toys R Us with a bunch of your friends.
Yeah. Good call.
Maybe you can't afford to buy everything, but it's still really cool to look at those action figures.
Yeah. Window shopping. It's all good. Thanks, Dylan.
Hey,
it's
Dylan,
nice.
did you have anything to report, or did you hear any rumors about potential Mario remasters coming to the Switch?
Whoa.
This is all with a grain of salt. This is not something I can say officially. I've looked up some stuff. I actually went onto Reddit.
I heard today, I read an article that allegedly Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy are going to be included into one release.
They better include Mario Galaxy too, because
I heard they're going to be like one release, which seems extremely generous for Nintendo, but that's what I read today in some news articles.
Yeah.
Either way, they're coming in different sort of ports, which I'm excited about to play Sunshine again.
I love Sunshine.
I've been thinking about booting up the GameCube because Sunshine's one of my favorites.
It's one of my favorites.
I just played through it again about a few months ago.
Really?
Love it.
Yeah, it's charming. It's a charming game.
and it's beautiful and it's interesting. Yeah. Like I mean, say what you will about the camera. That's been people's main issue with it, but it was the same thing in fucking Mario 64, but people have their nostalgia glasses on. So
agreed. Yeah. I want to give it a second chance. I didn't give it a chance when it came out, and I think I traded it in for some stupid BMX XXX or something game. So yeah.
Hey,
he likes the game.
50 Cent Blood in the Sand.
I wish it was Blood in the Sand.
I heard that's not a bad game, but I haven't played it. But you're 50 Cent killing people.
Yeah, I hope that it is one release where all three of those are together. But regardless, those ports are coming. Be excited because Mario games are a joy every time they happen.
I will literally play through every single one again. It's not even like a question. And I think this is a great opportunity for Nintendo. I think they're about to enter a content drought anyway, despite the coronavirus. Right. So I think this is their way to kind of mitigate that and introduce a whole new generation of players who just bought a Switch out of nowhere to really show them, the history of Mario.
Yeah. So like a Mario All-Stars.
I think it's genius. Even if they had like Mario, like if it was like Mario 64 and Sunshine on one cart, and then like Galaxy, because you have to have Galaxy 1 and 2 at the same time.
Yes, I agree with
you. 1 and 2 on the other cart. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say, but it's like, and hopefully it'll open up for like, can we see, like Super Mario 3D Land?
Okay, so one of the things I read is that they're going to do that separately, and they're going to do it as its own like deluxe version where they're going to add a few new levels. Okay. That's at least what I heard, because they were able to sell Super Mario Brothers Wii U or Super Mario Brothers U deluxe for $60. They can get away with that again for 3D.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't think you could get away with that for 64 or even Galaxy and Sunshine, but I think you can get away with that for 3D World because that was overlooked like crazy.
I love that game.
It was, and that was one I didn't get it day one, but after my daughter beat the Odyssey, she beat Super Mario Odyssey on the Switch. She was like, "Oh, remember that Super Mario 3D Land?" I was like, "I still have a Wii U. I still have the game. We can plug it back in." Yeah. She's like, "Oh my god, can you?" So we can get that on the Switch. That'd be awesome. And even the Game Boy games would be great. But if they're digital, if they're digital only, I'm all about it.
Another thing I heard was Paper Mario.
Yes. That's right.
The tradition of the good Paper Marios, not the color splash, sticker star horseshit that we have seen for way too long.
Yeah,
I like the Wii version. I like the one that was like not. I'm not a huge turn-based RPG guy, so like the one that was on the Wii.
Paper Mario, that one was actually okay. That one was okay. It was just, when you get used to.
This guy down here doesn't think so.
Josh, no turn-based.
Yeah, Josh, tell us what you feel. How do you feel about Mario?
I like Mario. He should never be turn-based.
Yeah, so
full frontal fireballs, bro.
Full frontal.
Well, he's the first to that. Anyway.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
It's the reason he hasn't came back in turn-based format.
Yeah. I hope they do something with it. I don't know how it is to port them to like the Switch. I'm sure there's more involved than just like, hey, let's put this ROM on a Switch cartridge. I mean, I have, not that I'm bragging or anything, but I mean, I have friends who work for Nintendo. I have a friend who works in the Nintendo treehouse, and he's working from home. All my Nintendo friends are working from home right now, so I have no idea how they're getting stuff done from where they are. Mm-hmm. But if it's as easy as putting stuff over and upscaling, then it's like, man, I'm all about it, man. I'd go for that for sure right now.
There's got to be some like old people they keep in the basement that they just constantly are forcing them to like port shit for them. Right. Like they only drag them out. It's like, listen, everyone's sick. You've got to come out of your.
Yamauchi never died. They haven't done that.
They have to announce something soon because we already have Animal Crossing just came out, and as magazine as promotions work. You never talk about what's already out. It's already there. People already bought it. Now you're looking at what's the next thing people are going to be hyped about.
Right.
And right now, there's nothing for the Switch. Right. I mean, outside of
if we announce it, it's going to probably be in the mid of May. I'm going to imagine. Yeah. So I think they're done for April.
They teased Mario. They teased Metroid Prime. They teased maybe a Pikmin.
Oh, Metroid!
I would love that
coming up here soon.
But I'm excited. I've never played actually Mario Galaxy, any of them.
Oh, no.
So good. Yeah, you'll be pleasantly surprised how good they are.
They're
great.
Very good.
All
Very
right.
good games.
For a lot of people, those are their favorites. Consistently, yeah.
Well,
two is kind of like it's almost like a reboot, which it's like a retelling of the first Mario Galaxy is very story heavy, actually. The second one completely just glazes over it.
It's just fun.
I've been craving a replay of those Galaxy games, and rather than hook up my old Wii, this is the way to do it. I'm very excited that these ports are coming.
I hope so.
All right.
And you can play with just analogs, but not like waggle controllers,
That's true.
That was probably the best game for the Wii, though. Like the subtle like controller functionality.
Yeah,
Mario.
It wasn't forced.
Yeah, it wasn't. You have to use this, and it sucks. It's a little fun. It's a tiny little part of it, but you can play it normally.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was my favorite part. I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Dylan, for our Nintendo Minute.
Dylan,
Dylan,
1 hour.
1 whole minute.
time passes differently during Corona.
Okay.
It does.
It really does.
Trust me.
All right. Well, let's move on to the topic of the show, just about the whole the quarantine, the coronavirus situation, how we're all coping, either personally, professionally, gamingly. How are you doing?
John, you go first.
I go first.
You're the guest.
Listen, I am essential. I have a note from the government that says that I still have to go to work.
Really?
I can work from home if I need to. I'm a radio DJ by day. I'm our production director. I have a couple of things at home that I can do from home, but it's just so much easier to do them from work. And unfortunately, I'm a 5-minute drive, 15-minute walk from work. So it's not a big deal for me just to run up there, get the stuff I need to get done. And I can still do some stuff from home. Like I still have to write articles for our website and stuff like that too. And as a radio, we're local radio. So we're just where are the resources? If you're currently, if you're newly unemployed, where do you go to do unemployment or whatever the case is? We try to, where are the local Wi-Fi hotspots if you need internet? Your schools are out of session. Where can you pick up your free lunch for your children? We do a lot of stuff like that. So I still go to work every day while my kids don't go to school. So they're at home.
Right.
But so we're just, to us here, outside of my kids being at home, it's like summer vacation, but it's in spring. So it's kind of weird. So other than that, we're good. We have, fortunately, I shouldn't be saying this out loud, but I have a brother who works for a local large chain supermarket. So when it comes to the toilet paper shortage, he can purchase things before the store opens. So he's hooked us up in the past. Fortunately, I was already preloaded and pre-stocked, having 3 children, and one of my children has special needs. So I have to consider that too. So we're good. I try to consider myself if I never have to leave the house for a month, will I be okay? So we were already good before all this, chaos started happening. I work for the media. There is no hidden media agenda. I'll tell you up front. We're taking it day by day.
You work for public radio, John?
It is. Yeah, we're a public radio station.
Oh, wow.
We're live and local.
So, wait. This isn't the one out of. This isn't like the KCPX. What is that one?
Oh no. I know what you're talking about, but no, it's not that one out of Seattle.
Okay. No, yeah, I must be thinking. Yeah.
And that one is very local. That one is so local where they have their own playlist. We have the music we play comes from the corporate office, and it's basically just a playlist of what we play. But we still have creative liberty to we can play a request, we can take a phone call, and we can put them on the air. So as far as all that goes, that's all creative freedom.
Yep.
But I still have to go to work as far as coronavirus goes. So, but I still have to be. I have my own studio, fortunately. And we're still taking safety precautions of, sanitizing the microphones. I'm sanitizing my workspace. I'm washing my hands all the time. I'm keeping my, visits, as infrequent as I have to, and I can still do, again, some stuff from home when I can. But when I'm home, I have my kids. So, I can only get as much stuff as I can get done, without them, cuddling and coddling and needing my help with something.
When you do go into work, are you able to just pre-record a lot of things?
No, for sure. Yeah. In radio, it's called voice tracking. So you can voice track, which is just you as if you were live on the air. Our office is closed, so we can't have listeners pick up concert tickets, and there's no concerts anymore. Yeah. So we can't really have them pick up prizes or anything, but we have stuff that online that we can ship to them to win. So that's been kind of handy. So there's still something to talk about. But again, when we're on the air, we're talking about, hey, coronavirus, it sucks. We're all getting through it together. But here's several resources. I live in the type of community where some kids may not have food at home. So they rely on lunch as their meal of the day, which is sad to think about.
Yeah.
So
we have that here as well. Yeah.
And,
pretty intense here.
It's not just Yakima. It's all over the country. So, we're trying to, and unfortunately, a lot of local, like we have a local pizza place that stepped up saying, hey, bring your kid over for lunch, free pizza and a drink, on the house every day, stuff like that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people that are stepping up in the community too to help out too. So we're doing
that's
what we
always
can.
that gives me a little bit of hope.
And when I'm home, it's I don't think Animal Crossing could have come out at a better time, because Animal Crossing we play
tell me fucking about it. Actually, maybe we'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah.
But as far as the YouTube channel, have you felt any impact of the quarantine, the social distancing from that, or is that still you could do that no matter what?
It helps. I've noticed a lot more people streaming on both YouTube and on Twitch, which is good for them, and as they should. But my YouTube channel has, I have 3 children, like I said, so I've never had a schedule. I've never had an outline. I never run with scripts. Again, I'm a radio guy. I just talk off out of my head or whatever. So so all my videos are just like, oh, here's this cool thing. I'm going to do this video on this cool thing. I'm just going to say it. And then my editing is minimal, and I get it up and I get it out and on to the next subject or whatever. And it's cool and it helps. And apparently other people, seem to dig it to an extent. And but when it comes to, I wish I could stream more, but again, I'm also at work and I also have children. So I never, sometimes I start streaming, and it's happened before in the past where I'll start streaming and then one of my kids has a freak out incident that has to be attended to. Okay. So I have to stop immediately and then move on from there. And, but it's been right. The YouTube thing, if anything else, is more of a Zen-like, forget about the worries, forget about the problems. It's my downtime is editing videos or filming videos and putting it out there. And then, fortunately with games like Animal Crossing and some of the VR, I'm a huge VR gamer. I love VR.
Awesome.
And some of those things, it's kind of an extension of not just talking to other people through like VR chat, which I admittedly don't do as much as I should. But even before all this started happening, I started to go to the gym again, and I can't have that access it again. All of the gyms are closed. So, there's a couple of I was talking about the Ring Fit that came out for the Switch. Well, I don't have that, but I have a couple of I have a boxing game for the VR, which is kind of a workout. So, doing what we can anyway during this really, really weird time. And we'll get through it together.
Absolutely. It's a minor
challenge.
What's your VR of choice? You have the PS VR. Do you have any of the Oculus?
I do.
Live?
I have. I don't. I don't have a computer good enough for those. I have a PSVR, which I love, but I also do have an Oculus Quest.
Oh, okay.
Where everything is in the headset. So it's wireless. Awesome. And it's good. It's really good. I still prefer the PlayStation VR, I think. Just it feels more comfortable. The benefit of the Quest is you can also sideload apps and sideload games, like fan-made games, which is nice. Like somebody made in like a tool, like an app to play the original Half-Life, but in VR.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So there's a Half-Life. The new one that just came out a little bit ago.
I've heard Alex is supposed to be one of the killer apps for VR. I've heard nothing but glowing reviews.
It's the game changer. It's the if you're gonna have a VR, this is the reason to have a VR. Is this new Half-Life game? But somebody made one for. I love the first Half-Life, and so it's that in VR.
Do you think they're testing the waters for 3 based off of this?
Yeah, maybe. I think it's. I don't think. I wouldn't consider this one 3 by any means.
No.
But so much of me is also like, how long are they going to postpone? But we felt that way. I know Tom can agree with this too. We felt that way in the 90s when they kept on making more and more additions to Street Fighter 2. But they didn't release Street Fighter 3.
Right. They couldn't count the 3.
So we have Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, Super Street Fighter 2. I was like, oh my God, you have like 19 Mega Man games. Yep. Make Street Fighter 3 at this point. And then when Street Fighter 3 came out, it was kind of anticlimactic.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I did boot up Half-Life Alyx for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, it looked really good. But I will say that the executable of that game is actually HLVR, so they are calling it like Half-Life VR. So
yeah, so it's Half-Life VR. I mean, there's enough VR games out there, especially for people who are just now getting into VR. Again, going back to GameStop, I wish we could go in there and look for used games, but there's so many great used games for $10 or less that you can get.
Absolutely.
And some are shorter games. And with me and my attention span, I mean, some people like those long, epic Skyrim style. It's like, man, I'm, like, oh, this game's only half an hour long. I'm good with that. Like, that's about as much time I have for a video game anymore.
Yeah.
I feel that way too.
Absolutely.
Sadly, but yeah.
Brad, Dylan, you guys good?
I mean, I'm the only one here who doesn't have a job anymore. So,
all that content you can make now. Fuck yeah.
I've been treating my drawings like a job. Getting back into art, I installed a nice program on my computer, and I've just been drawing a lot of stuff. A lot of it really bad. I drew. One thing I want to do going forward is I actually want to do virtual hangouts on Twitch, and I want to take like requests from people, and I just want to draw funny stuff. I was hanging out with Matt from Hair of the Dogcast.
Matt from Better in 3D.
Fuck me.
Get your podcast together.
Yeah,
I'm on so many.
Right,
so cool.
Jesus.
Better in what? Better in hair?
Not better in dogs.
It's insensitive.
Yeah, it's insensitive to Josh.
Josh,
but what I want to do is like we were hanging out. He had a bonfire at his house, and we were just talking over the phone, and he was hanging out drinking a lot of beer, and I was getting drunk and drawing. And I drew for example, I drew Baby Yoda, which is just a gay Baby Yoda. And he's just got a hat that says "Yas Queen."
I want to ask so many questions right now, but I don't think
You'll see the pictures eventually, Tom.
Seen every form of Yoda.
I'm also drawing us as Sonic OC. Tom, you want to be a three-toed sloth. Brad wants to be a bearded vulture. I'm going to be a possum. Josh, if you had to choose an animal to be for your OC, what would you have?
What do you think?
A turtle?
Josh the Chet.
A turtle.
A turtle?
A turtle?
Sure.
Well, because he loves Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and turtles don't have hair.
If you have bald eagle, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bald eagle and the bearded vulture. We could be like a duo.
There's already like an eagle one.
I got a question from a local fan. Maybe his name is Brian Ward. Asking, Turtles' anniversary was 30th anniversary was yesterday. Right. What was our favorite TMNT game? Easy question, right, guys?
Arcade
Turtles
game for the NES.
Turtles in Time.
I'm actually going to say that first one for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube.
Those are fun.
Oh, the reboot.
Yeah, those are fantastic. I don't remember what it's called, but
there was Mutant Nightmare, Battle Nexus, and then there was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Those games were infinitely playable. They were kind of isometric X-Men Legends style.
I'm going for the Michael Bay free-to-play Turtles phone game. Just the game.
Quiet, Brad.
Okay, I don't know if that exists. It probably does, but I didn't play it.
Guessing.
Yeah.
It's a good guess. I mean, like it could exist.
All right.
No, yeah, absolutely. I've just been trying to stay sane. Been doing a lot of chores. I think I can handle it better than most, though. So I'm Animal Crossing.
Always.
John, you've also been playing Animal Crossing as well, right?
Oh yeah, ever since it came out.
We're gonna have to exchange codes. I need to see some new islands.
So
okay.
Let's pivot into this Animal Crossing thing. And John, you had mentioned that could this have come out at a better time? Apparently, the fucking skies parted and looked down upon Animal Crossing and the coronavirus and said, now is the time.
Doom.
I mean, Doom released too. But like GameStop was letting people grab Animal Crossing when it was midnight Australian time. So like people were picking it up at like 6 p.m. in the U.S.
Right.
Just to get Animal Crossing that extra little bit. I downloaded it digitally, so I didn't have to go all the way to GameStop. And I paid for it twice, so I could play it, and then my wife can play it. So we have two Switch systems. So I have my island, she has her island. You only have one island per Switch, so it's like we have our own thing going on.
I've been sharing my island.
Yeah.
As a guy who's not really an Animal Crossing guy, I think now's the time to have our Animal Crossing talk.
Sure.
Why should I play this game?
Yeah,
why should I play this?
The sea bass and the bees.
It's cute, and it's
I'm not
like The
asking you,
Sims,
Brad.
and it's cute. I'm saying that's what I can pick up from it. That's all I can see. Do you like making cute villages and having a garden and putting a couch somewhere?
Everyone has their own way of doing it. Like
I got a couch at
Animal
home.
Crossing, like a lot of it's all about like
Congratulations, Josh. You have furniture.
It's whatever you make of it. It's whatever you make of it. I like, of all things, I like the fashion design part. So I like making shirts that I can wear. I like I made my Dr. Robotnik cosplay in Animal Crossing, so I can wear that since I can't wear it to conventions.
That's sick.
But there's that. I mean, people like the furniture thing. People like just and you can also visit like if you're friends on Switch or share your what's called a Dodo code, because Dodo is like the airlines that can take you to from island to island. You can visit other people's islands and see what they've done or see what they've had or go fishing on their island. Different people in different regions have different fish you can catch or different bugs you can catch. So it's just one of those. It's a really nice, polite, relaxing. And if you have the Switch app, you can chat. You can also like text each other back and forth through the game. It's a little awkward, but if you have the Switch, the Switch app is not optimal. It's not great, but it works. So, so here's, one of my best friends in the world is Kinsey, who's also on the Metal Jesus channel. We're not able to see each other right now because of this whole quarantine thing, and she lives in Seattle and I don't. But we're able to visit each other's islands, and we can chat through the Switch app, that way while doing the mundane tasks of fishing or something. But at least we're still talking to each other.
Yeah. I saw that.
That's really about it.
I think I saw today that there was people were having a wedding or something, and they were unable to get together physically, so they had the wedding in Animal Crossing.
It's going to be that extreme. I mean, you're going to see people graduating through Animal Crossing just because they can't graduate, the senior year in high school or something. I mean, it's, I promise you along the way there will be a proposal, like a wedding proposal, and it'll happen, and there'll be something, and they'll treat it as legit, and then still go to the courthouse and get the documentation.
Right, signed by Tom Nook.
Listen, do I look forward every day to visiting my friend Zucker, who's an octopus that looks kind of like a takoyaki?
I love takoyaki.
Japanese traditional food. Do I look forward to meeting him every day and finding out what I can buy from the Nook stop? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And do I look forward to seeing what kind of money grows on the trees? Yes. I literally wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh shit, I've got something to do. I swear to God, if I didn't have this right now, it would just be like, it would be me probably.
Nothing.
Well, I mean, I've been doing wood carving stuff, but I ran out of wood. And like decent carving wood, and I'm kind of listless. I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. I'm getting these calluses, and they're going to go away if I, take them off.
Like if at this time, Luigi's Mansion 3 came out, it wouldn't be the same. If it was Mario Odyssey, it wouldn't be the same. Smash Brothers kind of. Smash Brothers maybe, but it doesn't have that dialogue. Doesn't have the chat involved. So
it's got to be animal.
Yeah. So this is. I mean, it's it's some people treat it as a VR chat. I mean, some people have it as a they just go through and go to other people's islands. And I have friends who are streaming it. So I'll because I'm a media whore, I will if I see that they're streaming and I have them as a thing, I'll fly to their island just so I can get some some publicity on their end, and maybe I'll get an extra subscriber or two. It hasn't happened yet, but it's worth trying.
I'd subscribe to you.
Thank you.
Well, I think
from Animal Crossing.
Oh, we got some.
We got Lily. My daughter Lily in the background.
No, I'm pleasantly surprised. I wasn't originally going to get this. My girlfriend really loves Animal Crossing. I've been playing since the first one, and I find it really just like a pleasant, straightforward experience that doesn't give you too much stress, but gives you a lot of tasks. Like tasks aren't necessarily like super fun, but they occupy a space in your mind. That's my best way of describing that. And I wasn't originally going to do it, but I said, you know what? I'm going to build a house on this island with you. And I've just been, I was telling I was saying how I've been like funding a lot of like the public works projects because I have all this time to fish and sell my fish for extra gold, and it's been a real. It's not a lifesaver, but I think there's a real Animal Crossing revolution going on. All I see is people talking about Animal Crossing on Switch. It's so culturally prescient right now. Yeah. I think this is when Animal Crossing really blows up. I think that we're going to see huge sales numbers at the end of this quarter.
You already
They haven't.
I heard someone else like, oh man, I wonder how many therapists are going to hear about Animal Crossing for the first time this week.
Yeah.
I'm not out strangling someone. I'm not out doing bad things. I'm just at home playing Animal Crossing. And someone else tried to mention it, just like Tom was asking, like, what's the deal? I had another friend of mine who's like, I've never played one. I've been playing them since the GameCube games. Like what's the draw? And the quickest one answer I could give is Animal Crossing gives you a sense of community when the world doesn't.
Yes. Oh, yes. That is perfect.
That's a tagline right there.
They should fucking put that on the back of the box. Josh has a question.
I want to add, like, Laura, my girlfriend's been playing Animal Crossing, and I'm watching it, and it's very chill, relaxed. While she has that, I go to my Doom Eternal, and I'm yelling at the TV, and I'm just like, I'm like, mother.
Your blood pressure's way up here. And Laura's down here.
I'm into it and like yelling, and I'm like, I can't get through a stage, and then I do. I'm like, and I'm screaming through the whole game, but I'm so into it.
Yeah,
it's kind of a funny back and forth.
So Laura hates you right now, basically.
She's just sitting there playing her game while I yell at the TV.
Animal Crossing. She doesn't care about nothing.
She's
like the dude.
Relaxed.
Can you ask Laura what her favorite?
She just nodded.
Laura, what's your favorite neighbor in Animal
Crossing? So
that's true. And other. It's not just your island. Like other people come in, and you have other animals who come in, and it's completely random. You don't get to choose the first two that come in to live with you up front too. So it's kind of a crapshoot on who you're going to have.
Mm-hmm.
I got my favorite actually, which is Zucker. Zucker's my guy. He's always been my favorite. But ask Laura for us who her favorite neighbor is.
Laura, who's your favorite neighbor?
I really don't pay attention to the neighbors.
She doesn't pay attention to the neighbors.
She's not a true fan.
Focus on herself.
Community, Laura.
They're going to move away, and you're not a true fan. He's laughing at you. What?
Which animal is Zucker doing?
She talks to him every day.
Octopus that looks like food, you said, or something?
He's a octopus that looks like takoyaki.
That looks like takoyaki. She don't have him yet.
As far as me,
I
played some Final Fantasy VII. I've been doing a lot of podcast stuff, and I've finally gotten ahead of it so where I can maybe play something new. Might start Bloodborne. But I also have to edit a few podcasts, and I still work. The brewery is going well. We do to-go beer. Things are fine there. I am taking – you can request shifts, and I am requesting to not work when the remake hits so I can just play for like 4 days straight to beat it.
Okay.
And that's what I'm up to. But I did have a question for John.
Yes.
As my personal favorite, Dr. Robotnik, my favorite Eggman, what was your opinion on Jim Carrey's Eggman, and what would you have done differently?
It's hard to judge with this film that I didn't direct. Because they had to introduce it to someone who's maybe even never experienced the video games. There was enough. Before, this is a true story. I'm not one to watch a lot of movies, just by nature of I could watch a movie or I could play video games. I'm going to choose playing video games 100% of the time.
Yeah.
But I did see Sonic the Hedgehog in the theaters, and before that, before Sonic, the last movie I saw in movie theaters was Iron Man 3, and that's because one of my friends dragged me to see it because he didn't want to see it alone.
Do you have a chew?
I just. So I mean,
that's my thing.
So on top of that, it's hard for me to judge. I mean, I'm from the day where I loved Jim Carrey in Living Color, and I love him as a comedian, and he's done non-comedian stuff because that pays more money, I'm sure. But it was cool to see him back as being a comedian, and I think he did fine for what the movie was trying to do. If you've never played the video games, if you have played the video games, there's enough little Easter eggs, there's enough little signs and clues and hints. There's like, oh yeah, I like that. Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, that's there's that music again. Cool. Throw it in there, and I actually enjoyed the movie quite a bit. I'm looking forward to it being a digital release here. Was it today?
Yeah,
I mean,
yes,
I think it's today. Yeah. Actually, I think about it.
Pretty close. I'm actually going to watch it probably within the next week.
Yeah.
So like him leading up to it was, I didn't need a background story. I think it would have been cool if he showed up as Mr. Crazy Ass Robotnik that they showed, spoiler alert, at the end of the film. But looking into, there was a cliffhanger again, not no spoilers. Look, there's a cliffhanger that will lead into like a second movie. And I wish that was the Robotnik that was introduced in the first, like from the get go. It just give me the bald, crazy mustache, goggle glasses. I mean, the only reason, and this is a true story too, the only reason I chose to cosplay as Dr. Robotnik is I was like, who's a big bald guy with glasses? Well,
I'm very limited by having a beard that I can only go as bearded people, So
and I have the fake mustache, and I mean, my hair is a lost cause as it is anyway. It's easy to shave. I haven't cut it since the last convention. And the coat was easy enough. I have a friend of mine in Seattle who does cosplay commissions. In fact, the coat came from he's a friend of mine, and he usually does like what looks like mail, like chainmail, like plated armor, like just elven like leather outfits and stuff like that. He's used to doing stuff like that, and he was like, "Oh my god, thank you so much for giving us something that we can actually use a seamstress for, because they usually don't." So
that's awesome.
They're usually making fake suits of armor, like gun. I mean, he makes like giant, like 6-foot Gundam outfits that look like it's metal, but it's really like this kind of styrofoam stuff.
Sure.
But mine's just a cloth coat, really. Yeah. And so he hooked that up. I mean, I didn't make it myself.
That coat is amazing.
So I'm looking forward to the sequel, and
yeah,
thank you. I mean, it suits me fine. As long as I keep my dad belly. I'm working out too, but I got to keep that too. I gotta in photos I got to puff my belly out just to give it that bulbousness, little rounded.
Add some padding.
So, are you more of a Robotnik or an Eggman guy?
I like the Robotnik idea. I mean, Eggman just sounds like it's.
I think he's such a classic look. That from those first few games, absolutely gorgeous. But once he starts being Eggman and he got voiced, I was kind of done.
Yeah, I like the Sonic games all right. I loved. I think my favorite game of all time is the Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast.
Really?
I mean, as far as the Sonic games go, I was a huge fan of the Dreamcast when it first came out. Isn't that funny?
It's kind of.
I liked it too.
I just fell in love with it. I mean, and the Sonic games were fine for what they were. I mean, when I first bought my first Sega Genesis, it was right when they had Sonic as the pack-in. So I have a lot of love for Sonic. But when they introduced him as Robotnik and he had like character and stuff, I mean, before that he was just like Humpty Dumpty. I mean, he was an Eggman. He was just like, all right, he's the guy, and he just goes to the next level and you beat him. He goes to the next level and you beat him. He goes to the next level, beat him, goes to the next level. But this one he had kind of learn a little bit more about him and everything. So I kind of like the Robotnik style. But I'm not offended if somebody calls me Eggman or Robotnik. I mean, the coat was designed by his Dreamcast, but if somebody says Eggman or Robotnik, can I get a picture with you? I'm not going to be offended. I'm not going to be like, hey, that's Dr. Robotnik to you. It's like, no, come on. We're all fans here. It's okay. I'm not offended.
Excuse me, I'm Kintober. I'm Dr. Kintober.
You're very humble. But I think the main question is, did Lily like the movie?
Lily, did you like the movie?
Yes.
Oh, here, come here, Lily.
What?
Did you like? Here, I'm going to unplug this for a second. Tom here wants to know if you liked the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
I did.
You did?
She did. What was your favorite part about it?
My favorite part was like how they were animated and how it looked a lot lifelike.
Okay, she liked just the realistic animations there.
Excellent.
Well, did you see the Sonic before it was the new one?
Yeah.
Which
you should look it up online. It's kind of silly.
They got so much promotion though because of it.
Yeah, it did.
That's a good point.
I mean, they were The cool thing with having my daughters grow up with me is I have, 50 years worth of video gaming collection. So to them, there is no retro gaming. I mean, it's all video games.
Right.
They don't, they'll go from playing Mario Odyssey to playing Mario 2 on the NES to playing something on the PlayStation 2 to playing something on the Famicom
That's
Disk
awesome.
System. It's all.
Do you want to be my dad?
Yeah, there is no retro, but Laura's a big fan of Mario Sunshine. We were just talking about Mario Sunshine earlier.
It's such a good game.
See?
Yes, it is. It's very good.
Yeah, and it came out just before she was born. So there you go.
Right on.
Wow, that makes me feel not great.
Well, now I definitely got to see the movie.
Yeah,
I'll say it was good to see
it's worth a watch.
Jim Carrey look like he had fun playing a role.
Yeah, I just watched Batman Forever the other day. That guy had fun there.
Yeah. We need too much fun.
There's that.
Great, best movie ever made.
Okay, so Josh, you've been playing Doom through the quarantine. Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
I know a lot of people have been playing that, and that's I guess that's like a good Doom game. I mean, because there are people who are just hyping it up all left and right.
Better.
Yeah, Josh,
better
break
than the
it down
first?
for us. What makes this so much different?
It's a lot of the
than
same. However, it's faster. It's stronger. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's better. I'm only on the 4th level, almost through that. The graphics are amazing. It's beautiful artwork. The soundtrack is killing it, just like Mick Gordon did in the first one. They added that meat hook. I just got it.
Oh, cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
More weapons, more baddies. I heard this game's longer. Whatever. Yeah, let's play.
Have you experienced any of the platforming? I heard mixed things about the platforming of that game.
Well, the last one has some unique platforming. They definitely added a lot more. I haven't heard any negative reviews. I've actually heard more from a lot of the YouTubers I watch. Pretty much 100% of them, or 99.5%, said this is the best shooter they've ever played. That's them.
Wow.
I think 16 was still. I'm only on level 4. Maybe this is too. But there's like a, I forgot what they call it, but like a double zoom, like a zip, like you just speed through the air portion. I think it's actually, if you like platforming, I think you'll love it. I actually think if anybody doesn't like it, I just think they suck at it. And that's just accurate.
Throw the gauntlet.
Yeah, well,
I don't think I've ever heard of a first-person shooter with an air dash.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
There's
unique.
a double air dash. It is.
Wow.
This game is different than the first because of adding that, and I'm adapting to that. I actually had to drop difficulty to easy. I didn't do that in the first one. I just want to play through, enjoy it.
That game's supposed to be insanely difficult.
Yeah.
It is difficult. I played one portion for over an hour, and I'm like, I don't have time to do this, so I really don't. Even
it's
right
the
now,
game
I
you've
am
been
busy
waiting your
with
whole
my
life
job.
for.
I've been waiting patiently as hell for this game. I'm anticipating this more than anything. Since I can
does it have the same attitude as the first one, like writing wise?
Yeah. The music, it is so smooth.
Like Santana.
It's ridiculous. It's fast paced. It's fun. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm only a very small portion into it, and it's been great so far.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I've heard from a lot of people saying that, play the first time through on easy. Just do it. Do the unlockables, power up, just get the experience, get the feel. I don't have time to be Mr. Difficulty hard, everything nightmare this.
Maybe those creators have been playing that game too much that they're all pros at it, so they think Nightmare is just like the regular level. And they forget that a lot of people just take the game up time.
John, did you say you played the 2016 version of Doom? Yeah.
Of Doom?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I'm not all the way through it, and I played the Doom VFR for the PlayStation.
Oh yeah, right.
As well. And that was the last one I played, and I liked them both for their own. I mean, they're both Doom, but they're both kind of their own thing anyway. So I was looking forward to Doom Eternal. I haven't picked it up yet, just because I'm so engrossed with Animal Crossing. But I'm almost to the point in Animal Crossing already, even after a week, where it's like, okay, I'm kind of coasting now. I'm not as so hyper focused on building everything. I can kind of open myself up to. I got plenty of time.
You're ready to rip and
I want to rip and tear Tom Nook.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. No.
So I guess one last question I wanted to ask as far as the main topic here is, do you guys see any like positive effects of the quarantine, the socially distanced thing, either through gaming or just like professional lives? The way you think maybe life will change after everyone's been home for 3 months or 2 months?
I think that with the quarantine, there's a lot of opportunities for certain businesses to, experiment with. Everyone says they want to work at home. Everyone has a chance to prove they can work at home. Everyone says that they don't want to go to movie theaters anymore. They're now taking movies that are releasing in theaters and allowing you to stream them at home for a certain price.
Right.
I think there are certain business models that are being experimented with that maybe people can prove they are viable, which I think is kind of exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to try and like look on the bright side of something that is affecting everyone so negatively, but I mean, on the bright side, people are getting to play some more video games. The fact that PS4 and Xbox are talking about like we have to just slow down connections right now because everyone's online, everyone's playing, and everyone's connecting.
Yeah.
It's cool that people are getting a chance to – people don't have enough time to game these days, and now people are having a chance to like to like plug into some games again, which I think is cool. And Animal Crossing is hitting at the right time.
Yes.
And, we'll see. I think we're all going to emerge a little more different than we even anticipate now. We're all going to be desperate to drink beers together in person, and I think there will be more hugs when we come back, if anything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to even give you a hug, Tom. Maybe.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I take it back. I've been drinking a lot.
Not unlike an excited dog, I'm just going to pee my pants.
Yeah. Go ahead, Doug.
So, oh my God.
The quantity of beers drank since is going skyrocketing. As we talked about, the crawlers are out of stock. And it's just going to keep on if
They're all at
possible.
John's house.
Hey. If anything, people are going to get more used to getting crowlers.
No, it's scary. If this thing lasts like 3 months or in the summer, you're talking, I'm going to guess like 40% of businesses, small business, closing. Like a lot of people are paycheck to paycheck. So sad to say this kind of stuff, but I really think a lot of businesses are going to close down if it lasts longer than a couple months.
Well, the jobs that I had are in extreme danger.
Yes.
One of them is done so. I'm just going to say it right now. I worked for fucking Punch Bowl Social. Sorry. I worked for Punch Bowl Social, and Punch Bowl Social sucks. Goodbye, Punch Bowl Social.
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel owned 56.8% of that company. Pulled the entire investment.
Apart from that, though, more importantly, you worked for one of the greatest cheese shops in Wisconsin.
Yes, I do.
Small local business.
This is Clock Shadow Creamery. I want everyone who's ever had an inkling towards cheese, and if you live in Milwaukee, you should go visit them. They are still open. Right now, one of the managers from the back, he's running the shop currently, but they have a lot of great cheese deals. They have little like variety packs that you can buy now. He's very knowledgeable about cheese. He can help you get anything you want. And I mean, heck, at Hair of the Dogcast on Twitter, I'll tell you about cheese.
Hot Dogcast.
Yeah.
Dogcast. Thank you.
Johnny, you want some Wisconsin cheese? We'll hook you up, man.
Hell yeah. No, I mean, here in the Northwest, we have Tillamook. Tillamook, Oregon is kind of the headquarters for what we have for cheese. I mean, there's a place in Seattle as well that's pretty known. But, I mean, Wisconsin is like world renowned for its great cheese. So I was looking
for good reason
forward to it, man. Yeah.
So actually, Seattle has the first urban creamery. That is Beecher's. We are the second.
Yeah, Beecher's is popular, but I'm looking forward to seeing what Wisconsin has to offer. I mean, Oregon has Tillamook, and Tillamook is known for their kind of basic block. I mean, Tillamook is Tillamook. I mean, we have places that have like, here's the cheeseburger, or do you want the Tillamook cheeseburger and pay $1 extra or whatever. And very, very fancy and very special. But I'm a huge charcuterie fan. I love the little individual cheeses and all that. So I'm all about it, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Do you have a favorite cheese?
Oh, I don't. Is the straight answer.
There's a lot.
Do you
whatever soft. It's in Tillamook, Oregon, but it's not Tillamook. It's called Blue Heron, and Blue Heron has they have like a smoked brie that I really like. But I mean,
their camemberts are very good too.
Yeah,
but their cheddars are surprisingly for a West Coast cheese.
Yeah, just whatever's clever. Just whatever I can put on a cracker with the cheese and the meat or whatever. I'm good, man.
Tom, we're going to have to record a cheese cast.
How many podcasts are there that are based on cheese?
I'm
guessing 2 or 3. I'm guessing 2 or 3.
That could be big.
Yeah.
They only last about 3 episodes.
Oh my God!
I'll get
Part of the cheese cast.
But this is not.
Oh, now I don't have anyone to.
John, this is a hard-hitting question. What is the current favorite flavor of ice cream during the quarantine? Your corn cream, if you will.
You're only saying that because I was so looking forward to my Blue Moon ice cream.
I just had some the other day, man. It was great. Oh,
I'm gonna reach out there. Although it's funny, I did find we do have Faygo's Red Pop in town. I found one place in town that imports stuff from all over, and they actually had that. So I can make 1/3 of Superman ice cream, I guess, out of Milwaukee or out of Wisconsin, Michigan. You know what? Tillamook.
There you go.
So Tillamook is known for their cheese, but also in Tillamook, Oregon, they have they do beef jerky.
Mm-hmm. I've had beef jerky.
There's even a beef jerky warehouse. You can get 2-foot pepperoni sticks for $1 each, which is wonderful. Ice cream everywhere too, and you can get ice cream here in the local stores. And they do limited edition pancakes and maple syrup ice cream, peanut butter and jelly ice cream, stuff like that. But they make a little pints of special reserve stuff and of several different things, and they have kind of it's a whiskey and something else.
Is it like a salted whiskey caramel?
It is, yeah. It's something like that, and it's
that's the standard.
It's kind of like a butterscotch, but it's like a butterscotch with a little bit more.
Yeah.
Uppercut to the nuts kind of thing. So yeah, I'm all about that for sure.
I like that as a description. I keep trying to find new ways to describe flavor profiles. That's really good.
Yeah, let's help us see about that.
Right in their Y chromosome,
Love it. I wish you guys the best through the quarantine. Does anybody have any last final tips to anyone listening that you would recommend?
Well, my tip is, since Dylan has come over, he's just going to move in to be safe.
I was going to say, you're not 6 feet apart, so...
No, me and Dylan live together now. It's great. We're going to have raw dogs 24/7, 365.
It's going to be a live cast. You're going to listen to me snore, probably.
Next week, we have a Raw Dogs episode. If you're listening to this, the first part of our Final Fantasy VII series will come out, so check that out. That'll be fun. Otherwise, keep supporting local businesses, keep drinking local beer, keep getting, takeout orders as long as you can. If it's safe, support everybody that you can, because it's very important right now. We want everybody to get out of this ordeal, having played Animal Crossing and local businesses stayed open, So that's all that I think I have. All right, Tom, I know you wanted to get to the mailbag before we do our sign off.
I got a couple of...
You should start calling him State of the Brunion.
Ooh, okay. I like that. That's a great pun. We have a few questions in the mailbag. All right, this one comes from Kate from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Guys.
Hi, Kate.
Perennial favorite.
What great game or movie has an awful or distracting soundtrack? Game or movie? Yeah. Anyone come to mind?
Come on.
A distracting soundtrack.
Great game, but
I'm going to take it back to the
crappy soundtrack.
Take it back to Willow for the NES. It has the worst password selection screen I've ever heard in my life.
Can you do an impression for us, John?
I could. You don't want to hear it, though.
I like that song.
No, it sounds much worse on the NES.
You just made it sound amazing. I'll have you know.
It's not bad.
Chip tune.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible, and it's not just that it's terrible. It's terrible because Willow for the NES uses 369 uses 18 character password selection screen with uppercase and lowercase and letters. So you're on that screen a long time to put in the password for where you were on Willow for the NES. So listen to that ad nauseum for.
That's horrible.
I don't know. It's one of those games where it's like you don't know if it's an L or a 1 or a lowercase I or something. It's terrible. Yeah.
Lowercase. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I don't have an answer myself. Usually, if something is like a distracting soundtrack, I'll just move on to the next game or movie.
So I do have one.
What do you got?
In Xenoblade Chronicles X, it's the one that you still have sealed, Tom.
Should play it, maybe.
There's a city theme. The city theme, because it takes place out of this large. It's called like Neo Los Angeles. I'm not even joking. Like Neo LA.
Right.
And it is one of the worst songs. And it grates on you to a point where you're just like, well, I'm just not listening to anything anymore. And you mute it and you put it on a podcast.
Oh wow.
It's really bad. Definitely insert that here because it's disgusting. That's the first thing that came to mind.
I don't have like a specific one myself, but I know there are a bunch of like TurboGrafx 16 games where I did enjoy the game, but the music was just god awful. Maybe it was like 8-bit and the games looked like 16-bit, and it just like, I don't know, cognitive dissonance in my mind.
Right.
In his day, they had to stamp 2 rocks together.
Yeah. Okay. The next one is from Tom from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This one's for John. Yes.
For me.
It's not you, is it?
You'll never know. In your opinion, what is
who is the coolest tall dog caster?
That's next. So this is a two-parter. John, in your opinion, what is the top video game branded cereal ever made?
Yeah, this is from you, Tom.
The top video game branded cereal ever made. There've only been a handful of them. There've only been maybe 5 off the top of my head, and the top one for me, actually. There haven't been very many of, and we're going to exclude Funko, right? Because Funko is a collectible. You can eat it. You're not really supposed to. You're not.
Wait a minute. Funko has a cereal?
Yeah, Funko has cereal. They have. You've been to GameStop, dude.
I didn't know that.
They sell cereal?
Yeah, you're right. I've seen this.
Very fast.
So who allows those bastards to do anything?
Well, there's that. It's up north of Seattle. You got to talk to those guys. They're open on weekends. Okay. I don't know. They're open. Okay. Actually, they're probably not open right now at all. If I had to choose one to get to the point, the Pac-Man cereal with the Super Pac-Man marshmallows were okay, but I have to give it to Donkey Kong Jr. cereal because it was a fruit flavored cereal that was like apples and bananas, but it just tasted like it was like Trix but amplified. Gotcha. So out of all the video game branded cereals, there's been Super Mario cereal sucks. There's been
Donkey Kong.
There's been Donkey Kong, which was basically Captain Crunch. There was the Nintendo cereal system, both sides. A lot of people like that.
Nintendo.
I hated both sides of it.
It's a cereal now.
That was a great commercial. Yeah, totally. To me, it was all about Donkey Kong Jr. cereal. That was pretty good. The Pac-Man cereal was okay. I do remember that pretty well. But again, I'm from the day.
I remember Pac-Man, chicken noodle, and stars.
What?
Yeah, they got that. That was 10 years ago. So I remember that one. A couple years ago, they had Overwatch cereal from Kellogg's, and it was like it was basically just vanilla flavored Fruit Loops. In fact, if you get the new Peeps cereal, because Kellogg's makes a Peeps cereal, it's the same flavor, just rebranded. It's boring and
all right. So plain. Donkey Kong Jr. is the final answer.
Donkey Kong Jr. is my favorite. My favorite, yeah. And
I personally am a big fan of the Mario Brothers movie theme cereal that tastes like Bob Hoskins.
Tastes like gin?
Move on from there.
All right,
I love it.
Tastes like overworked and underappreciated.
So, John, the other half of this question is what?
I made much better movies.
What video game franchise never had its own cereal but should have, and what would be in it? What would be the ingredients?
Oh, if I had to choose one. I'm looking up at my cereal collection right now.
Collection? Wow.
Well, it's not really a collection. It's what I have on my I keep my cereal on top of my refrigerator, and I keep my collection in the other room. I'm surprised of all. And this A very shocking revelation. I'm surprised at this point we haven't had a Minecraft cereal. We haven't had a Angry Birds cereal, if you count Angry Birds as a game, which it is.
Are you sure?
Did Sonic the Hedgehog have cereal?
Never did. And
that's weird.
There was a parody of it though, which should have, because you'd figure Sonic the Hedgehog cereal would just be Honey Nut Cheerios, which is just the rings.
Oh yeah,
or some variation.
Crossover.
So some God of War cereal.
God of War cereal. That sounds way too intense.
I'm ready for school, Mom.
I love this cereal.
Sonic is popular
cereal is real.
Okay, so Minecraft. I'm sorry.
Is it really? No,
Yes.
It's all right. I'm just going off the cuff.
You're doing great, John. You're natural.
Thank you. I'm curious about what Dylan has to say now. I'll have to say it here. If Sonic the Hedgehog had a cereal and it was just, if I was to brand a Sonic the Hedgehog cereal and it could just be like cinnamon flavored, I don't know cinnamon because I love the flavor of cinnamon. Just like cinnamon Cheerios, basically. It'd be fine. And it would sell.
All right.
Shape of rings.
Super generic. Yeah, it's for the.
I will gladly eat that cereal. Great
I would too.
Great answer. Solid answer. Yeah. And last question.
I love
last question. Maybe some of you will get this, some of you won't. I don't know. This is from Becca from Ironwood, Michigan. She asked, I saw a tiger or hear kitty kitty.
Is this a reference to Tiger King?
And I say, hear kitty kitty. Anybody?
Sure.
I haven't seen the last episode yet. I don't know if that matters. But she's guilty. She fed her husband to the tigers. I'll say that.
That bitch Carol Hasselman, I'm telling you.
I faded out those last couple episodes. I just wanted it to end. It was good.
But if you had to pick the Joe Exotic, his best song, I Saw a Tiger or Hear Kitty Kitty, which one would it be?
I'll say
it's Hear Kitty.
I go
Kitty.
Hear Kitty.
Sorry.
If you look up Joe Exotic TV on YouTube and look for the most popular videos, Here Kitty Kitty comes up before the other ones. So, Here Kitty Kitty is like number 5 of the most popular videos he has on his channel. So, the most popular video is like a 1.5 minute video of like a tiger playing with a dog or something like that. So, yeah, here Kitty, come on, Becca, Here Kitty Kitty, come on.
You already knew the answer,
Okay,
Becca. Come on.
You got it. Yeah.
Becca.
I'll give you all a tease here. My first beer that I've named from Eagle Park might be coming sometime soonish, and it might be named after Tiger King.
All right. You've heard it here first. Exclusive.
No, it's not.
It's called Carol Baskin's husband.
Well, I pitched a few of them. One is like Tiger Food. One is Tony Exotic. One is Guilty AF NEIPA. We have a few things we're working on, but it's probably coming shortly. So
if you guys paid attention to what I say, sometimes you would know that I've been following this story for about a year and a half.
Oh my gosh, you were following Tiger King before the show?
Dylan.
If anyone cared what Dylan does, and Dylan looks up,
Dylan, if you brought it up in the Dylan experience, like where your spot to bring these things up is, we would have known.
Sometimes you get cattle mutilation, and sometimes
all right.
you get
On that note, John, thank you so much for joining the Dogcast. We hope you had a good time. You're welcome anytime.
Thank you, John.
You want to powwow with us. Ever.
Oh, my pleasure, man. Yeah, had a blast, and I got more beer where that came from. I'm happy to join along. We're
happy we got to do this in lieu of the Midwest Gaming Classic and all the conventions being canceled.
Does your co-host over there have a magnifying glass? What is she holding there?
This is it's the microphone, the mic filter kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Well, she was nice. Otherwise, I couldn't see.
Well, she's a detective.
Josh, where can you get a hold of us?
You can get a hold of us at hairofthedogcast@gmail.com. If you need to email us, we are on all formats of media to download our podcast, iTunes, Spotify, etc.com. Instagram.
All of.
Do that thing. Twitter, Hot Dogcast.
There you go. Twitter, yes.
Follow, reach, subscribe, hang out. Let's talk about beer and video games.
So bad, but yeah, good job. Check out Patreon. We have brand new tiers. You will love them. We have stuff for everybody. All you have to do for the price of a beer, you can check out our Hot Ones video that we talked about before, Patreon exclusive. And
So
Yeah,
spicy.
John, where can people get a hold of you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at John Blue Riggs. It's my first name, my last name, and the color of my hair used to be 20 years ago, which is where that email came from and my screen name came from. John Blue Riggs at that's on Twitter and Instagram, and just search for John Riggs on YouTube or anywhere on the internet, and you'll find me and my smiling face talking about some old video games more often than not, and cereal.
And cereal, yeah.
I love
It's
it.
good stuff. Check it out.
Yep, that's right. Video games and breakfast cereal. I'm all
That's
about
right.
it. And coming to a convention near you as soon as this coronavirus lifts.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Good Lord.
As soon as we can.
Absolutely.
wait.
And
I know. It's going to be so awesome.
This year sucks. Let's
already over it.
do what we got to do.
And,
Yep, 2020's canceled.
me and Dylan are the Raw Dogs.
Just add beer.
We're Raw Dogs. We have another podcast that's every other week from here at the Dogcast. And Final Fantasy VII episode comes out next week. And be safe, everybody. As long as we have beer, we're not desperate for supporters, but it'd be cool.
It would be cool.
The crawlers are running dry.
Tom, what do you?
Hey, I'm on Twitter at Tom_Wagner. And yeah, get a hold of me. Shout at me. Shout at Hair of the Dogcast at Hot Dogcast. But thank you so much for listening. This has been a fun time. We hope you're all being safe out there. Like we all said, we'll get through this together with beer, preferably. We'll see you next time. Kisses.